The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You have to press the button.
Yes.
I'm not used to that.
Hi.
Hi.
You know what? It's not sounding
It's
very
not.
clear.
It's not working.
Yeah, you sound very echoey.
Strange being in studio with you guys.
Is that you?
Gross.
Or are you AI?
This is yeah. I'm not really. I'm a hologram. This is the second day in 3 weeks I've been in studio.
How is it? Did you see when we redecorated?
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
What do you think of that side?
Yeah.
Of it?
Beautiful.
Built out.
Everyone looks great.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's really good to be with.
Only problem is apparently there's a bat problem in the building.
I'm still not over that, dude. I'm still like a sound hits. Yeah. That was and you know, I told you there's the return of Ratley outside in the outside.
Return of the Rat.
Oh my God, exactly. Not great. Well, good to be here. Good to be with all of you, and good to be back. Hopefully, I will try to actually be here for a full week.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
You're looking dreamy.
I feel dreamy. Really. Just
That's the official
okay.
seal.
I'm running.
Vest.
I am.
It's not a vest. It's like a confused shirt.
It's a vest.
Oh, it is.
A confused shirt.
That's great.
I thought it was a vest into
Yeah, like this was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's a vest, and then this, and then you know.
It must have been given to you because you can't sell the
You can't
presidential
sell.
seal.
What a load of crap that was, West Wing. Believe that
TV
my
show
whole life.
wasn't real.
No, TV show was fake.
Mm.
They even had like real people that used to work in the White House consulting.
I wish you weren't a liar.
Frauds.
So the show ends Friday,
Yeah.
right? So the way the office is set up at home is that I have my computer facing the wall, and because we do video, you know, I have my background. Then to my right, there's about a foot separation. My wife's, you guys already know. Okay.
I'm not comfortable with
My
this
I don't like
anymore.
this.
My
As a
wife's,
person, I don't like this at all.
This is the best part. My wife's desk, it's always good when I'm about to bust out a story and both co-hosts are like, my wife's desk is a foot to the right of me, also facing the wall. So if she's doing something video and I'm doing work at my desk, nobody can see me, vice versa. Now, a couple of disclaimers before I tell the story. All right. Number one, I have 100% clearance to tell the story. Of course. I share a lot of stuff in my life, sometimes probably too much. But there are things that are private. And this one could very well, which is why Jason and Chris are uncomfortable, be kept private, but it's too good of a story. Secondly, it may sound like I'm making fun of something very serious, and I probably will.
It sure does.
Just because that's how I cope with things is dark humor. But
those you tell the story to weren't ready for the dark humor.
So Jason and Chris, third disclaimer, they know this story because they called me after the show just to laugh about something that happened during the show and to talk. And I was like, by the way, guys, you're never going to believe. And
we lived the story in kind of almost real time.
Like
seconds after.
And
literally.
the way you're talking about it, we were expecting a punchline at some point.
There was no punchline. I mean, there were several mini punchlines, but like, yeah.
So let's retell it.
So Friday's show ends, weekend's here.
Woo!
And the show ends. I sign off. I get out of the virtual studio, and then I have some stuff that I gotta work on afterwards. I had to voice a couple of spots and just do normal stuff that we do after, especially at the end of the week. I'm at my desk, And 10 a.m. hits, and my wife's computer rings, a Zoom meeting, right? Which has happened, but usually very, very quick. It's an employee, it's somebody, she's got a staff, somebody that has a question about a thing. Well, this is very, very regular. So I've got probably a good 20 minutes of stuff to do. So instead of me leaving and letting her do it, I'm just going to quietly do my stuff while she, works. So she answers the phone, and it's her boss, and they're having a technical issue, right? So there's some sort of tech issue, and I'm just kind of paying attention. All of a sudden I look up because it's like, well, that's kind of weird. And I look at her boss, and it looks like her boss is kind of in pain, like something. I've known this person a while. Something's wrong. And they're trying to figure out. And then finally Melissa says, is the phone working, or can you hear me? And the other person's like, yo, yeah, I can. And then there's more pausing. Now I'm really paying attention, because I'm actually worried about this other person. Like, oh my God, did something happen? So anyways, there's a pause, and then finally the person starts speaking, and her voice is kind of breaking. And now I know something happened. Like, something's wrong, and this sucks, because she's a very nice person. And she goes, this is maybe the toughest phone call I've ever had to make. And at that moment, I realized what's going on. Let me set the stage for you. So we had Avery, right? And then we had Mason a year later, October to October. And then the following year, I think, 2 years later, I got fired from here during the whole King saga. And my wife had a job before she had Avery, and then took time off between Avery and Mason to, be pregnant, have kids, and, do what we got to do. And that's when I was working sales here so we could have insurance and all that. And anyways, I get fired from here. And at that point, we're both jobless. I start doing the podcast in my house, which was minimal money. And then I get this funky idea with my friends to go on this RV trip for this team that I don't work for reasons unbeknown, that is bringing no money into the house. The only way I could do that was for my wife to go out and get a job. This is the job she went out and got. She started out on the bottom floor and worked her way up. It's in the mortgage business. It's a national mortgage company. Worked her way up, and I'm really proud of her. From I say peon without disrespect, but a entry-level worker to a manager with a fairly large group of people underneath her. Now, the mortgage industry has been getting destroyed. Anyone knows that for the last few years now. And the staffing has, I want to say this is maybe the 12th to 13th round of cuts. And finally it was kind of her turn. So that's how long she's had that job. So now back to me. That's the important part. I'm sitting here, and I realize, oh my God, I don't know what to do here, because I want to be here for Melissa, but at the same time,
you're not supposed to be hearing this, right?
Yeah. And not that matters. I now want to get out and give her some privacy, but I'm just going to be honest. I'm not wearing pants. And there's no way for me to get out.
Could you have crawled?
I really legitimately thought about crawling outside. And then all of a sudden, simultaneously, our dog starts bringing his chew toy over, and it's squeaking. And so you have the squeaking dog toy. He's trying to hop up on my leg to play because he knows show's over. It's time to play. My wife is going through this terrible moment in her life. They're both, in tears.
You're getting a phone call from us.
I'm getting a phone call from you guys.
The only thing missing was the bat.
For real. I was getting bat flapped at this point. So anyways, that happened. And look, part of the reason I'm talking about it is, look, with all the cuts that have been happening, and anyone who's been in this situation knows this, these cuts happen, and then whoever's left over, the work goes on their shoulders. And I think it's one of those things where my wife I know she had been kind of planning on leaving for a while. It is a blessing in disguise. I have nothing bad to say about them. They're fantastic. But it's one of those things where she never would have left. And now she's leaving, and she's going to go on and find a job where she's not working 12 hours every Saturday and freaking out and, you know, having all this pressure on her. That being said, though, it's still traumatic. So all weekend long was basically like, what can I do for you? How can, you know, I immediately went out and got a bottle of Woodford and said, have free reign.
All of it.
All of it, mainline it. I don't care. This is your weekend. Do what you got to do. And, you know, any family that's been through anything like this, it's a little traumatic, but, you know, it could be a hell of a lot worse, and we're aware of that. And for her, it's like, look, take your time. We're thankfully in a position where we've been smart enough to where she can be patient or smart, lucky, whatever you're privileged. She can take her time, pick what she wants to do, no pressure. I was also in charge of telling the children this, and Avery was down in Disneyland for her little choir thing over the weekend. So I pick up Mason from school Friday because, hey, mommy's decompressing on Friday. And I tell him on the way home. And both of my children, I also told her yesterday when I picked her up, both of my children said almost exactly the same two things. Number one, good. Mommy was really stressed out. And then secondly, they both found a way to weasel their way, and I could tell they were struggling, and I'm smiling because I know it's coming. They both found a way to weasel their way into asking, does this mean less chores at home? Because she's going to be home. Both of them. Scamps. Wow. Both of them.
Do those dishes.
Yeah. Do I still like
Avery?
So what? Well, Avery straight up goes, so what happens to the chore schedule? Like, and she's, and I like, oh, so that happens to mom and you're worried about, no. I just want to know, do I need to pitch in more? I'm like, I almost gave her the wank motion. Like, yeah, right, kid. Mason's a little more subtle about the whole thing. So anyway, it'll be an interesting time because now for the first time since we had our children who are getting ready to go to college, one of us is a house person, whatever. I know
she's a coach, Dave.
Well, that's the thing. And so you things like that come up, you know, she'll be fine. And then it's like, I hope my new job lets me, you know, I hope I can coach. And plus her job is right by our kids' school, you know, so there's that, picking them up. And that was really convenient. There's a bit of autonomy, some remote working and all that. It's a scary thing to be out there on the beach and looking at all that. So listen, some of you know my wife. If you do, and you know, send her a message, tell her you love her and all that. But she's going to be fine. Most importantly, though, it was really awkward for me. And I've had to spend the whole weekend getting over that. And then you guys called 5 minutes later. Not even 5 minutes later. And I'm like, guys, guess what? And did
you tell her that version of the story?
No. I mean, did I tell her like the way I told you guys and was laughing about it?
See, what I would say as a way to, without lying, but make you look better, say, I was literally crying on the phone with Jason and Chris.
Which is actually true. But it wasn't sad crying.
And they were both crying as well.
Yes. Like we three shared tears over what happened, which is technically a fact. We were laughing, but we weren't laughing at what happened. Well, okay, we were laughing at what happened, but the way it happened, not specifically what happened.
And afterwards, Chris says to me, why did you call him again? And I said, about something completely different. And then,
yeah, why did you call me?
Oh, it's the bat flap.
Oh, the bat flap.
I was just saying we were still laughing about that line. And then you're like, you'll never guess what happened. Okay.
Yeah, did you? The only thing I know we got to break.
And then I felt really badly. I sent you a text. I'm like,
you did.
I wasn't.
You did.
Well, we were laughing at the situation, but that was, of course, we had no idea. And I was like, oh, you know, I kind of feel badly about that.
Yeah, which you didn't. Like, I'm the one laughing. And then, I get a follow-up text from you. And you're like, hey, man, make sure she's okay, all that. Also, thanks, Chris, for your follow-up text, too.
That was it right there.
The only
it was from both of us.
Yeah, right. You guys worked on it.
Oh, I forgot to put Chris's name on there.
The only regret I really kind of had, though, was I just kind of wish there could have been a camera on your guys' faces when I was telling the story, because I was very aware that like how insane this was. That I was telling you guys.
I'm exactly what Chris said is how I was feeling too. We're both looking at each other. I'm like, wait, either this is there's some sort of punchline,
right?
And then I'm like, wait, this is serious. Why are you telling us this?
Literally just happened. It was fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
I had to tell someone, and you guys just happened to be the fun, lucky ones. So
fun.
Anyways, hey, you know what? But for the grace of it, we've all. Have you ever been fired from anything?
I
don't feel like you have.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're too nice. People love you too much. Chris?
Technically.
Yeah.
But I left already.
Yeah, that doesn't
They
count.
said it was a summer job and like don't come back. And I'm like, if you hadn't noticed, I wasn't there the last couple of weeks.
All right, well, I'm the only one in the room who's been through that then. The trauma being rejected, but it was here. So, well, and a car wash once because
You get fired from a car wash?
well, I got fired from a car wash because I no-showed the next, on a Saturday because I was hungover. And then I told my boss, I was like, it was cloudy. I didn't think people would go. Like, legit, I did. And he was like,
You thought that would work?
Yeah, that was my excuse. All right, look, speaking of cloudy.
A chance of meatballs.
Yeah, my goodness gracious. Also, we just got a text a couple of days ago from the Secretary of State for California saying that our ballot was received and counted.
Yes.
That's on our station text line. Well, that reinforces my yeah, exactly. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Kings. I don't, and
I do.
That's good. I'm glad you have all the answers, and that seems to just be a recurring theme. So we are the flagship of the Kings, and we need content, so we will talk about them. Also, a good friend, speaking of people being let go, looks like a good friend's going to be let go, and there's a lot of NFL maneuverations going on. Frankie will join us a little later on in the program as well. Frankie Clicks and so much more. It's Dave, it's Jason, it's Chris in studio. We'll be right back with Leading Off on Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Ever since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Ha! Found you.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Up fake, Van Vliet using some clock. Shot clock down to 5. Hits the screen, circles to his left. Stops, pivots, feeds it on top of the green. Steps into 3, scores it. That could be the dagger. There was 1 second left on the possession. That makes it a 3-possession game at 108-100.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm off the emotional roller coaster. Like, honest, no, I am.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to give you full disclosure. This is on my kid's life. This is one of those things that it's not smart for me to admit for reasons you'll get real quickly, but I just can't not be honest and open. Tuned in for like the last 2 minutes. Didn't watch a minute. Didn't watch him. I knew I and I'm not saying this. There's no credit here. Knew what was going to happen. Didn't want to deal with it. Felt like I knew what was going to happen, which turned out to be correct. Didn't want to do it. Didn't want the stress. Knew I had to. The only reason I tuned in, and then, later on that night, later on last night, because it was an afternoon game, I knew I could go back and go through highlights and read and all that, because I have to talk about it today. It's my job, which is the only reason I watched any of it. Just
did that help?
It did, because I legit am not emotional about it, because I now kind of like there's a pattern for me.
Yeah,
they are good. They're 5-5 in their last 10 at home. They beat the good teams and lose to the bad teams.
Yeah, I was looking at this last night. They basically have a 6-game win streak and a 4-game win streak, and they're 500. Besides that,
yeah,
I mean, they've kind of lived off, which, I mean, is okay. All of that is okay, and there are a whole lot of okay.
Remember when I was like, hey, 11-4 for the month of March? Is
that impossible now? Probably. Well, unless they win
they
the rest.
Pretty much have to win everything. Yeah, I want to say this was their third. Is that right?
Probably. Because they've just been going back and forth, win-loss here.
No, it's their second. Sorry. So we're still
early enough in the month.
Still go 9-2 would be fine. Their 3 wins are to Minnesota in Minnesota, at the Lakers, and then the absolute stolen victory from San Antonio. They lose at home to Chicago, lose at home to Houston. They're a Domantas Sabonis steal away from being 0-3 at home on the stand since March, against 3 teams all below 500, including San Antonio, which is terrible. Also, they have Milwaukee, the Lakers, the Knicks, and Memphis coming up. This is Jason. This is how.
So win the 3 games against teams above 500, lose to Memphis.
This is how confident I am. I could be wrong, but I'm going to the Bucks game tomorrow night.
Oh,
it's my second game all year. I'm going to.
Did they win the other one?
The one against the Bucks.
No,
the other one. Yeah. They.
So you're
1-0. It was Denver earlier in the year. Yeah, and I hope they stay on the streak because I want them to beat Milwaukee, but. If you follow this, they'll beat Milwaukee, LA, and New York and lose to Memphis. Now, I don't believe that's going to happen. I think they're going to lose one of the Milwaukee, LA, New Yorks and beat Memphis. But it's just what it is.
If they did that, then the road trip's really not that hard. But that means they'd probably lose to Washington and Toronto and beat Orlando.
Yeah, that it's a 3-game East Coaster, and then they come home for Philly, 2, Dallas, a Utah, and a Clipper before going back on the East Coast. There's no rhyme or reason, dude. I'm not even mad at them. It's just who they are.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. It helped to not see it. What honestly helped me, because usually it's a loss, get home, go to bed, wake up, come back here and talk about it in the morning. Just the fact that it was earlier, went home, watched the Oscars, kind of like thought about something else, woke up this morning and went, oh, wait. Kings lost.
Yeah,
but there was a little bit of a cushion
which helps
just a little bit,
because you're basically you're getting home, you got to go right to bed
pretty much,
which has got to be so difficult because you got adrenaline from the game. You got to be up in a few hours, and then you got to talk about it when you just talked about it the night before,
right? So
you get a little bit of that cushion, which is cool. And then here we are. We've got to I'm not mad. I have come to the following conclusion. They're going to do this all year, limp into the playoffs, and they're going to end up going to the second round and making noise. And we'll just look back and go, well,
then I'll take all of that.
All that stress for the regular season. They ended up with right around the same amount of wins as last year, but they went further in the playoffs, including an upset, because that's what it would almost have to be. So my conclusion is this: either that's what's going to happen, or that's not going to happen, and then there's just going to be a massive overhaul of this team in the summer. Like a massive overhaul of this team in the summer. Like nobody's safe on this team. Like nobody's safe. Nobody is safe on the team. I'm not saying they're going to trade Fox, Sabonis, and Murray. You would think those would be the 3 that are safe, but like Monty's going to have to do something.
Yeah,
because if that doesn't end up happening, this ain't the crew.
Well, and even if I would like to think of your other scenario, let's say there's an upset, wherever seed they get, if they get in and get that and advance somehow to the second round and lose there, it doesn't mean it's figured out.
No, it doesn't.
So I hope they don't go, oh, this is the same, They've seen enough this year to know that this isn't right.
But if they do that, if they do make it to the second round, I could 100% see, though, they now have a crutch to say, hey, look, we're trying to keep this group together. We've advanced every year.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's elements to keep, but not the entirety.
All right, cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Here his kids. Up the middle, he runs into the wall, and the ball came out. Ball is loose. Who's got it? 49ers recover. Arik Armstead came up with it on the Gibbs fumble.
Arik Armstead. Sounds like he will be a cap casualty, according to Adam Schefter, that the Niners and Armstead and his folks, I don't mean parents like us, I mean his agent and his camp, been trying to renegotiate his contract. They, again, according to Schefter, got close. But in the end, Arik wants to test the market, and They, at least as of now, I still think that, you never know. You never know until you know. It sounds like they're close, and who knows? Maybe somebody makes a phone call somewhere. But as of right now, all signs pointing to the Niners releasing Arik Armstead, and that would end an era with the 49ers. And Jason, not to overstate what he did for them, but he's been a very good player for a fairly long time, and also with everything he does as a leader in the locker room, off the field, the Sacramento connections, the fact that we've known him since he was a kid coming up through high school here, it does feel like the end of an era. Realizing that it happens in every sport, if he ever is on another team and dons another uniform, that will be weird. It will be so weird. Yeah, I mean, it's happened to legends of the game. Not saying that he hasn't been a great player, but when you see someone like in the final year, like if this Russell Wilson thing, he's going to the Steelers, that'll be weird. But Armstead in some other uniform just will be really strange. I'd love to at some point talk to him because, look, I'm always going to be on the side, almost always going to be on the side of the player. I'm certainly going to be on the side of Arik Armstead. But I also wonder, too, like, is this the right move? Like, are you at this point in your career, whatever you're losing or set to lose with the Niners in the renegotiation, A, are you really going to make that up with another team? And B, like, how much is staying with the Niners, being this close to Sacramento and your family, like having the comfort zone, like, and the fact that you're also generationally wealthy? And I'm not one of those like, well, you have enough money, but I do wonder about the thought process. Yeah, me too. Especially if it was that close. Yeah, if it's that close, it's like, what are we? I'm worried for him. I want Arik time to tighten
check
up.
in on him.
Right. So, and obviously we love Arik to death. He's been a part of the show for on and off for a while, and we'll check in with him as soon as he's able to talk. You know what? We'll go to break. I know I'm over here. We'll get to more NFL news, including Russell Wilson finding a new home. We'll talk about that at 7 a.m. We'll take a break, though. When we come back, Kings lose again, and we have audio for you. Sorry, you have to hear it. We'll do all that next.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by California Army National Guard, Nature Wood Home Furnishings, and RVs of Sacramento.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Hey guys, do you know your T-level? Revive Men's Health here in Sacramento is helping you take that first step toward better health and enhanced intimacy with a free testosterone level test, exam, and consultation. Plus, for this month only, qualified patients can kickstart their treatment with a free supply of ED medication. Revive's customized ED treatments can provide immediate results, restore blood flow naturally, and even bring spontaneity back into your love life. With both in-person and telemedicine appointments available, plus free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Having an optimal testosterone level can change your whole life, and it starts with knowing your T level. Take that first step and book your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation, and kickstart your treatment with a free supply of ED medication this month only. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566, or visit revivemenshealth.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Jason was just asking me off the air. Yeah, it was a really, really, really bad sports weekend for them, at least personally. You had in a 24-hour, less than a 24-hour period, Sac Republic opened up, Art Health Park. Up 2-1 on Orange County, big rival. Great.
Didn't see the corner kick at the end. I assume Republic won 2-1.
We're in like the like 4 minute and 50th second of the 5 minute extra time, and there's a corner kick, and basically if the keeper saves it, is going to hold on to the ball, do the whole, like, check the ball. Is it pumped up, sniff it, whatever, delay, and then boots the ball, match over, right? OC scores. So you go from 3 points in the bag.
Who scored for OC?
Who was it?
Goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah, that's. By the way, the Republic new signing who led the League One in goals last year had 2 goals in this game.
Nice.
He looks really awesome. So, yeah, they go from 3 points at home to dropping 2 points at home. Then the next morning, up at 5 a.m., Huddersfield Town in a relegation battle. They are officially in the bottom 3 now by a point. They're playing at home against a top 10 side, West Bromwich Albion. Dominating the first half. They're up 1-0. Should have been up 2-0, but missed a wide open goal. Up 1-0. Go to break. Come back. 4 goals in about 15 minutes for West Bromwich Albion. 4-1 the final. So they lose. This is, that's very worrisome. They could be going down. 9 games left. And then Kings on Sunday. I think the only thing I took any joy out of sports over the weekend is Darnell Palmer was kind of cool. Scotty Scheffler won. It's good to see Will Zalatoris.
And I know this will probably come up later during crosstalk, but there was a lot of anticipation at the game for baby Ella.
I forgot. Yes, because I saw it over the weekend. Did I hear correctly, gentlemen? Was there some controversy? I heard there was maybe some controversy with maybe the coach for Ella maybe overstepping a little bit on the encouragement and breaking rules. I could be wrong, but I thought I saw that on social media.
I don't know. I'd like to get Chris's perspective on what he saw there yesterday too. But I would say, I don't remember how many babies were in the race. Let's say 10, 8, something like that.
Yeah.
And there was one on the outside that got off to a quick start, about a three crawl, a little pitter patter, and then just parked it. Yeah. The other 8 babies, not interested.
Not at
not
all.
Even off the starter blocks.
They didn't prep.
Including the one coached by one Alan
Oh,
Stiles.
not interested?
Didn't seem to be. And I thought, like, all the starters, Alan was the starter. I think Mom was the finisher on the other side, right? Like, just
yeah. Always how it should be.
Yeah. And Chris, didn't you notice, like, I thought Alan was the only one standing up?
Yeah.
At first.
Oh, is that what?
Then, like, he picked up baby Ella, and I thought, like maybe and then at one point it looked like, is she going to walk?
Yeah,
that's what it looked like
standing at one point.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
And then back down, and I felt like there was, like, the only reason maybe she was in second for a half a second was, like, I think he placed her a little bit further out, And then
that's cheating.
On the other outside, farthest from us up where we were, the deer and fox of babies just took off.
It was on.
I mean, it was looking like we had no race. Like the 3 quick pitter patter was ahead. And like, is this going to win? Like getting a 10th of the way? And then like the other one just went like on super speed.
I will also say that it was weird that it was after the first quarter.
Yeah, they've done halftime before. But I think it's because it was Slamson's birthday and the mascots.
And I do know that Alan said that he was expecting it at halftime, and he showed up there, and they said, "Oh, you almost didn't make it."
Wow. And then,
so maybe in the rush of everything, baby Ella wasn't prepared.
It was too much.
Hey, I say no excuses.
The De'Aaron Fox baby, would you say that baby's a front runner right now for clutch baby of the year?
Oh, no doubt. Like that will be advanced to the Tournament of Champions.
I don't think it would get clutch points though, because it was far out and away. It wasn't even close.
Destroyed
it was really a
it was like the Secretariat of babies.
Yeah,
I mean, 8 furlongs.
No one else. I really question the other babies.
Well, let's focus then, and we'll do this across top. But and for those of you who don't know, Alan Stiles' baby was in the baby races yesterday,
and really talked this up.
He really did.
Yeah.
Do you think him being gone all weekend for spring training took away from their routine, and he actually cost them?
Now that I think he just made a great point. Yeah. What should have happened was he never should have even came home.
That's right.
Yep.
Mom takes baby
absolutely
to the arena.
Yes.
He shows up for the races. She sees him and immediately
wants to go to.
He's at finish line. I think it was a coaching misplay.
I think it does sound like it was too. And Alan kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, agreed with Chris.
One thing I've always wondered about the baby races. Has anyone ever thought of putting an electrode in the diaper? I'm just saying, because you could have a remote and just kind of shock the baby.
Not hurt the baby.
Not hurt the baby.
Just shock the baby.
Just let it know that something's
the
there.
Peter Gabriel song, Shock the Baby.
Yes, it's a hit.
And you just like, you're saying, go, go, go. But then like maybe you implant it in the little stuffed animal. And the baby might look uncomfortable, but it's
about winning.
It's what are you willing to do?
Yes.
In this soft society today. An electric baby's just sliding through.
Yeah.
All right. We've done enough delaying. The Sacramento Kings played the Houston Rockets yesterday. And hey,
did they?
Yeah. They
after the baby races, though, the run was Houston. So I mean,
the baby races also motivated. Was there a Dylan Brooks of babies that was just out there punching other babies?
Yes.
Because that is amazing. It started out neat for the Sacramento Kings.
Now gives to Sabonis, wrap around behind the back pass to Herter, pocket pass to Sabonis, kicks it out to Fox. He's uncovered for 3. He scores the triple. Good, unselfish ball movement on the part of the Kings for a 5-point lead at 12-7. Sacramento has scored the last 8 points after they gave up 7 in a row.
Mm-hmm. They would continue to go. Malik Monk comes in the game a little bit later and takes care of Jalen Green on defense.
Trey Lyles rocked up on his toes like he was going to shoot it, and he thinks better of it, and he gives it up to Monk. Down to 3 seconds to go. Monk drives in the paint, step back for 2. He's got the bucket, a second ahead of a possible shot clock violation. Biggest lead of the ball game for Sacramento, up 42-29.
And that's how the game ended.
That was the peak lead.
13-point lead. And stop me if you've heard this before, Jason. The Sacramento Kings are outscored by a couple going into the half, a couple in the second quarter. So going into the half, they've got themselves, a 5-point lead, I think. Third quarter, they're outscored 32-14. They're outscored in the second and third quarter, if you want to go ahead and combine them just for funsies, 63-43. And although the Kings won the fourth 31-26, again, spoiler alert here, let me give you some of the stuff going on, including, and we'll talk about this in a second, Alperin and Şengün.
And Goon sets the high screen, gets the return pass. Here's the floater in the lane. As a result, he scores it. Wasn't the prettiest of plays, but it gives Houston a 4-point lead. It's their biggest lead of the ball game. They're on top 70-66.
Yeah, it got worse.
Landale has it, spins it back to Green at the logo, creeps toward the left angle, challenged by Trey Lyles, doubled by Fox. They swing to the near side, driving a kick, corner 3, Thompson, score it, and it's the biggest lead of the ball game for Houston. They're doing it from downtown all afternoon.
So this is when I was watching the replay, I know that if I was watching it live and didn't know the outcome, this is why it was great to not watch it live, because I knew where I'd be going. Shockingly, here's another MO the Kings love to have. They basically get distracted by the car keys or a fresh bumblebee or something and just don't pay. I don't know what the hell happens for a quarter or two, and they fall down huge to these average to below average teams. And then shockingly in the fourth quarter, they wake up and they go on this insane run. Yeah. And honestly, this is the banana in the tailpipe team.
Yeah.
And you don't want to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And that's what they get you to do. And had they not gone down so deeply, if you will, in the game, yeah, that last minute run works. But in the end, no.
That's it. The like it's separate than saying, hey, every team has runs. We get that, but the run is an avalanche on the Kings, and it gets from having the lead to being down that far.
Yeah.
And they almost come back, but it's like what? It just like if they could have been down 8, that's still bad. You still lost this lead.
Yeah,
but that's doable,
right?
But you get it to 17, and you have to do all this work with not enough time, and they've done this far too many times.
They've done it far too many times, and it's not improving. And at some point, there are 3. I only see 3 possible issues. And by the way, it might be all 3 or bits of all 3. It's either the players, it's mental, and by players, I mean like skill.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental thing, or it's coaching.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a little of all, might be more of one, some of the other. I don't know, but one more note we'll get to later, by the way. In addition to losing the game, even though this wasn't a Sacramento King, real tough situation in the end. And I hate it. You hate seeing that no matter what. I love Alperen Şengün. He is the heir apparent to the Jokic, Sabonis type of center. Just a 20 years old, won't even be, I think, 21 till July, having a career year. Look, you got a lot of Twitter doctors, and I don't say that, by the way, loosely. Like, legitimately, there's a couple of cool sites to follow where it's actual orthopedic surgeons that look at video and say, here's what it probably will be, but, you need the MRI. And it's like, at best, this is a XYZ PDQ thing. He'll be out, a few weeks. But it seems like the consensus is Alperen Şengün destroyed his knee last night and will be out the rest of the season. They'll find that out today in an MRI. You certainly hope that's not the case, but especially for a big man, that could be a lingering thing. We've said it before, outlaw freaking injuries. Plus, it was the last minute of the game, and it's one of the best and brightest young stars in the game.
Yeah, a couple thoughts on that I had it was just sick when it happened because it's awful. You knew it was serious. Players are telling people to come over.
Yeah.
Look, you're not really prepared for situations like this, but they need a bigger wheelchair at that arena.
They need a bigger wheelchair, and then shout out. I couldn't tell if it was a Kings guy or a Houston guy, but shout out to,
I think it's Houston.
Was it Houston? Shout out to the towel guy on the staff. Şengün's in the wheelchair. His head is down. He's obviously in a ton of pain. He's got a towel over his head, and towel guy just goes over in front of him and like frisbees a towel that lands
I missed that.
and then like falls off of him. And you can see the guys pushing the wheelchair. Like, guy, what he doesn't, he's like, oh, my bad. Like, you got to read the room, bro.
Yeah.
Doesn't need a towel.
Yeah. The only thing I heard too, and I don't know if this is I didn't get confirmation on this, but I was leaving and I was asking a few people about it. And they said, well, the good news that I heard is he was getting on the bus and going to the plane as opposed to like staying here and going to a hospital, so I don't know. I don't know what any of that means, but that I took as better news. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't want to speculate.
No. And you're right. And you want to, and they're going down to LA too. So you hope that's good news. And by the way, maybe it's just look, no offense to my city, but I'm pretty sure there's more experts in LA than Sacramento.
Yeah,
so we'll see there. We'll let you know as soon as we do, but obviously fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that Şengün's okay. All right, much more on the Kings a little bit later. When we get back, our good friend Arik Armstead, it looks like he's going to be released, but is this part of a bigger sports-wide problem? We'll talk about the connection there next. Really? text break. That's fine. Am I reading it wrong?
I'm reading it like you.
Nope, I put it in wrong.
You put it, okay, so it's here?
It is my fault.
Because, well, that's fine. It's, you know what? It's not. It's the team's fault. We win and lose as a squad.
I didn't do anything.
Want to talk to you about my good friends at American Energy. You see, look at that. That's teamwork right there. Look, these are your second opinion partners. And you know I love my folks at American Energy, talk about them all the time. And not just because I get paid to, but because they're good people. Because you know when you hear me endorsing something, we try to go as local as possible. Better Business Bureau stuff, length of time. You know, here's the deal. Don't want to send you somewhere it wouldn't go. And I've told you this story with American Energy. I've used them 3 times. And all 3 times, I've had my wife call. Because I don't want to do the thing where it's like, not that they would, but I want to do the thing where it's like, oh, hey, make sure the radio guy gets the thing right. You want to see how they operate. And all 3 times they've been absolutely fantastic when they come out to my house. A couple of tune-ups and then doing some work on the air conditioner a summer ago. Second opinions, what does that mean? You got a quote out there from another company? Call American Energy, Heating and Air. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll let you know if that quote you have is good or if they can beat it and beat it significantly. 916-520-9990 to set that appointment. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Arik Armstead and the problem in sports, the NFL to be specific. We'll talk about it next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
For beginning golfers, not getting into bad habits gives you a much better chance of enjoying the game and shooting lower scores. John Howells in Golf Monthly says these mistakes should be avoided. First, know your club distances. Take your yardages not from your best or worst shot, but somewhere in the middle. And no dancing allowed. Swaying in the backswing is a common fault, which forces you to compensate in the downswing. Mastering impact. Trust the loft on the club face and don't try to lift the ball. Club face control. For right-handers, take care to set the perfect grip with 2 V's between thumb and forefinger pointing to your right shoulder. Bunker shots. Many struggle here because they fail to open the club face before hitting the shot. Turn the club before you take your grip. And finally, learn how to read greens and hole more putts. Even on a miss, putts that miss above the hole offer more chance of holding the putt. Now go out and have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit jiffylube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Well done, Chris. I think the timing of our sheet here is going to throw our Carmichael Dave off.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't know how he flipped this around.
I don't know either. But we did. So we'll have a longer break next time. Anyway, we will be talking about Arik Armstead here. That is the news from yesterday. It's not official, but the rumors are he is going to be released. And for a variety of reasons, obviously for San Francisco and Armstead, that we could see these two sides parting ways. One, San Francisco is in a cap situation a little bit tighter. Now, they've got some flexibility still at the quarterback position because Brock Purdy is still giving them an excellent performance at a what you would call a bargain rate. When we're looking at all these other teams making their financial moves around the NFL to basically protect their franchise type quarterback, the 49ers are still in this championship type window where they can add other superior players because of the cap situation they have with a guy like Brock Purdy. But the Armstead one that we talked about at the beginning is a little bit of a surprise to me for the 49ers and really Armstead because, according to reports, the two sides did talk and reportedly were very close, and they ultimately got to this spot here in this situation. So, Dave, a little strange one here with Arik Armstead.
That's what I was saying.
I know you were. We had these two completely flipped.
Did we? Okay,
yeah.
so
And I've gone through it. We're good for the rest of the way.
Yeah.
All right. So just to be clear, well, we'll do that off the air.
Yeah.
We had a time issue. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Chris might be getting a Zoom call a little bit later. Put your pants on. The thing with Arik that got me is this. I think it's part of a broader conversation. We can talk about Arik all day long. The NFL is the undisputed king of American sports. That is not arguable, right?
Right.
Like the NFL is king.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the most valuable teams in sports. You know, you're going to see a soccer team in there, the Yankees, but the vast majority of the top 25 teams, let's say, when it comes to value, are NFL teams, including the one that's worth the most. What is it? The Cowboys are like $7 billion or something. I would just like to renew the fact that the most consistently undercovered story in all of sports, and not only is what I'm about to talk about the most undercovered story in sports, but the fact that the media doesn't talk about it and it's undercovered is also, I think, a top 10 most undercovered story in sports. They're actually connected. And I'll explain. The NFL's players union is the worst union in sports. They're terrible. The NFL is the most dangerous sport played. We see CTE playing out in real time with actual human beings. They're going out there and they are getting damaged. And even if you manage to not have massive brain issues after your football career is over, you look at a lot of these ex-players and they're walking around like, they're practically disabled, at best,
right.
Limping, back issues, all kinds of health problems. Why the NFL continues to get away with the fact that, unlike the NBA, unlike baseball, unlike hockey, why these contracts aren't just straight guaranteed continues to befuddle me. That you could go out and sign Mortimer McShnerd tomorrow at linebacker to a 4-year, $714 million. You could sign him literally the same contract, let's say Shohei Ohtani just signed.
Mm-hmm.
With $13 million guaranteed and cut him the next year, and
Yeah.
you're out $13 million.
Right.
People really need to stop and think about that for a second. Well, but the cap of the...
Yeah, what's the real money?
Yeah, but, I'm saying people would respond, well, Dave, the cap and this and that. Well, what if they get hurt? Well, what if they get hurt?
Right.
It's very easily solvable. What if they get hurt? Well, the NFL could step in these negotiations and say, okay, Jason, I signed you to this huge, every dollar's guaranteed, just like in every other sport. You go out the next year and you're playing football and your leg gets bent back to your butthole and the whole thing is broken and you can't play for 2 years. Oh, I can cut you now. I can cut you. It's cool. And you're out the rest of your deal that wasn't guaranteed. Well, in the world that we should live in, I can still cut you, but I have to pay you every single penny. The way to solve the cap issue problem is simply this. Well, if a guy's hurt, he doesn't count against the cap. Move on. That's that you get an injury exception. If you're guaranteed $14 million for the next 3 years and you can't play, you can prorate it per game or whatever for the year, and that comes off your cap for the next year or that year or whatever. There's ways to solve it. They don't want to spend the money. So you have these players now that have the worst contracts in sports practically. And this is a situation where bottom line is this: Arik Armstead signed a contract. Now, I don't feel bad for him. He's a very rich man.
Right.
We have real problems here. I understand that in real life. But in the sports world, Arik Armstead signed this giant contract. This shouldn't be a conversation. He should be getting paid every single penny. And the fact of the matter is that this isn't how I was going to connect it. This is a very undercovered story by the media. We can cover it because we're a piddly little 20-second mid-market morning show. You're not going to see a ton of this on your nationals because they're all in bed with the NFL. The NFL does not want this story. They do not want this pressure. They don't want this story covered. It's going to cost their owners a ton of money, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. They've got it. And meanwhile, you're bringing in, and again, the players are signing up for this. I'm not trying to play a violin for the play. They're signing up to do this voluntarily. But you've got these players coming in the most physical sport there is, in the most injury-prone sport there is, and their contracts aren't guaranteed. But in baseball, where you literally light matches in someone's foot in between innings and have fun and put bubble gum on people's heads, every penny is guaranteed. Basketball, Alperen Şengün. Imagine this, Alperen Şengün. God forbid, knock on wood, Alperen Şengün has a career-ending injury that he suffered yesterday against the Kings. Just God forbid, but I'm putting it out there as an example. If this was football, the Rockets could cut him, and what if his deal was barely guaranteed? They could cut him. He'll get some sort of medical settlement coverage.
That's it.
But that's it.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Alperen Şengün, even though he's still on his rookie contract, he's going to get paid out no matter what, every single penny of what he signed that contract for, regardless if he plays or not. Now, there's sometimes issues there. You have a guy who you sign and he sucks.
Right.
You got to pay him for 3 years. You see, but I'd rather have it that way. I don't feel bad. I feel less bad for the owners than the players.
Yes.
Always going to side with the players.
Absolutely.
So
in every sport.
This is it's just dumb. We'll take a break. When we come back, Russ Wilson has a new home, and you're not going to believe what his contract is. Speaking of getting paid, Baker Mayfield, baby. And we had some more trades as well, and a new stadium, it looks like, in the NFL coming up as well. Big time franchise doing that. We'll run around the NFL for you right after this.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ever since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Ha! Found you.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to the March Mania sales event at Kia of Vacaville, Northern California's premier destination for automotive excellence. Get ready for an exhilarating showcase of our 2024 vehicle lineup, where innovation meets the road and customer satisfaction reigns supreme. Step into the future with the all-new Kia Sportage, where cutting-edge design harmonizes with dynamic performance. Explore the outstanding fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that redefines eco-friendly driving. Experience the unparalleled luxury and versatility of the Kia Telluride, setting new standards for sophistication and practicality. Don't miss out on our impressive selection of eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, tailored for drivers who demand efficiency without compromising on style. And for those seeking the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it ready for delivery or in stock. Visit us today during March Mania and discover why Kia of Vacaville is the ultimate destination for automotive excellence. Model availability and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more information.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2120, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You know, I'm loving my new EQS SUV. It's the most amazing car I've ever had. In fact, when I'm on the road with the Kings, I can't wait to come back just to hop in that EQS SUV. It's lovely. Now, if you've been on the fence about purchasing your first fully electric vehicle, I'll just say this. Schedule a test drive and see for yourself what makes these vehicles so incredible. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is offering up to $10,000 in incentives on new 2023 and 2024 Mercedes-Benz electric vehicles. You'll also receive a wall box home charger and 2 years of prepaid vehicle maintenance if you purchase or lease any Mercedes-Benz electric model. So head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just 30 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5, online at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Hey, good morning. Good morning to Host.
That's a funny picture we have in our studio. Adam Schefter's on two different shows right now.
It's always so weird.
But one he's got a coat on, the other he doesn't.
Yeah, like, was that his thing? It's the same tie, too.
Yeah.
It's so weird how that works.
Yeah.
It's on two different ESPN and ESPN2 right now. One with a coat, and then you think they're like, all right, we don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Take your coat off. That's the more like up front.
Yeah.
He's talking about, funny thing is, Adam looked at our rundown.
He did. He knew what we were talking about.
Russell Wilson, as he is reporting, and as we were about to talk about, is signing a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is the this is kind of the opposite of what we were just talking about with Arik Armstead, because in this case, Russell Wilson he signed with the Steelers for like $1 million, the vet minimum, right? $1.2 million. But he's actually getting paid $39.2 million because $38 million. The Broncos are paying Russell Wilson $38 million to go quarterback for another AFC team.
Yes.
That's how that's working.
Yeah.
Now, in that case, it's like, I'm good with that. Sorry, owners, you signed him to the deal.
Right.
Pay the deal off.
Yeah, this is one where if he was truly a free agent in the real sense of the word, I wonder if he would have had a home. But now you're going, wait a minute, I only have to pay him what? Because Denver's paying all the rest? Yeah, we'll take that risk.
Yes. Why wouldn't they? And now all of a sudden, the Steelers are getting Russell Wilson for Brock Purdy money.
Right.
Now, at this point. Now, the difference is it's a 1-year deal. They're certainly not going to get him like that for long term. So they can't just unlike the Niners who have some time to build around Brock Purdy while he's making nothing. The Steelers don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
What's interesting, though, and we'll say it again, Russell Wilson did not have as bad a year as I think a lot of people would think. 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Now, trust me, he wasn't perfect. Nobody's saying that, but also consider he's doing that for the Broncos, which were not a good team.
Yeah, and now you're going to a team that made the playoffs, a division that was great, and he we're back to that. Can he be a game manager? Right. Better than what Pickett was, than Rudolph was, Trubisky, whoever they tried to use at quarterback last year. If you can get just a kind of the version you just said of him from Denver last year with a really good defense, maybe that's what Pittsburgh needs.
And you're talking about Mike Tomlin, who finishes above 500. It seems they're at 500 each and every year. So Russ goes to the Steelers. That's quite interesting. Also, I love this story. I loved it last year. I thought he probably should have gotten comeback player of the year. Who did get it? It wasn't DeMar Hamlin. It was somebody else. But Baker Mayfield. He signs a 3-year, $100 million contract with the Buccaneers. Now, again, because we just talked about this.
What's the guaranteed money? The real money.
$50 million.
Okay.
Which
it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. That's a little under $17 million a year for a guy that a lot of people thought was going to be out of the league. He's set to make $30 million guaranteed this year, $30 million with $20 guaranteed in 2025 and $40 million in 2026, plus a $5 million per year in incentives, bringing the max value of the contract actually up to $115 million. Now, again, you look at the contract here, and we don't know how things are going to work out. But 2024, he gets $30 million guaranteed. 2025, $30 million with $20 guaranteed. And then again, $40 million in 2026, but none of that's guaranteed. How much you want to bet Baker Mayfield's not quarterbacking the Buccaneers on this contract in 2026?
Yeah, pretty logically.
Because that is $40 million, not guaranteed. They can just get rid of after 2 years. So this gives them the opportunity to keep him in for 2 years, build around that, and then, hey, if it's not working out or they're not where they're at, they can always go a different road. Mac Jones.
This was odd.
I think a 6th round, 5th round pick, whatever it ended up being. But he is on his way to Jacksonville. And yeah, you and I kind of talked about this during a break, Jason. Not like the biggest surprise that Mac Jones with the new regime in there is leaving New England. But just the way it ended and the fact that you're talking about a 2024 6th round pick. New England has the number 3 pick in the NFL draft. Likely, if you go by the numbers, a decision between LSU's Jaden Daniels and North Carolina's Drake May. Now, Mac Jones grew up in Jacksonville. He will back up Trevor Lawrence, who is the first pick in Mac Jones's draft. Jones was selected 15th.
Yeah, and it's I know this is a trade situation, but Mac Jones was probably thinking, look, I don't know if it's going to work for me in New England, but there might be some potential other spots I could go as a starter. And clearly he's not going there to start.
No, he's going to back up Trevor Lawrence. It's interesting. He was the second quarterback selected in 2021. He's the second one now to get traded. Trey Lance was number 3. He was traded by the Niners, of course. Mac Jones 15th, traded by New England. Trevor Lawrence, pretty sure he's not getting traded anytime soon. But what's interesting is the number 2 quarterback in that draft, Zach Wilson. He could be traded at any time or released.
And Fields, right?
And Justin Fields, who it also seems is almost certainly going to get traded.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh was a real logical target for him, so I would think that's off the board.
For Fields?
Yeah.
Oh, you know where he's going. Come on. You know where Fields is going.
Back to Ohio State? The Raiders?
Yeah. They're getting just okay. That. It just seems like that's a Raidery. And by the way, it might be a good move. I'm not making fun of it.
Would you have, if you're the Raiders, would you rather have Justin Fields or Russell Wilson?
Honestly, I was just going to say, honestly, I'd rather have Russell Wilson. Veteran, knows what he's doing. Got a lot to prove. I'm not worried, obviously, about Russ Wilson in Vegas. But we kind of know what Russell Wilson is, right? I don't know that we necessarily know what Justin Fields is. So maybe when you're in the Raiders spot, I mean, again, coming from a Kings fan's point of view, all these years, you talked about, buy low, sell high type of thing. Maybe Justin Fields is just the type of guy for them to look. He's definitely got a lower floor probably than Russell Wilson, but I think he also has a higher ceiling.
I think there's more risk, right? Because I think if you're getting a guy like Fields, you're probably saying we're going to try this for a couple of years. If you get like what Pittsburgh did with Russell Wilson, it's this year,
right?
And we'll see what that produces, and then they can reevaluate after that.
Finally, going around the NFL, thought this was interesting for you. The Bears are shifting their focus to remain in the city of Chicago with plans to build a stadium just south of Soldier Field. Now, a little over a year ago, the Bears closed on a 326-acre property that used to house a race course for horses in Arlington.
Some call it a racetrack.
That too. You know what? You know why I said that though? It's literally called Arlington International Race Course, and that's kind of why I paused because I thought that sounded weird, but then I just Ron Burgundy'd it. They signed an agreement to purchase the property for about $200 million, but they haven't begun to develop the site, which was supposed to feature a multi-billion-dollar stadium. Now, what I find really cool about this, the Bears are planning to invest more than $2 billion in private money into a domed stadium that will be publicly owned, and they'll also have a park space there that would feature year-round community amenities. They haven't released renderings or anything, unlike the Oakland A's with their awesome renderings. But I think that's kind of cool. $2 billion in private money going towards a stadium that's going to be public. And now, once that stadium is completed, assuming it will be, the Green Bay Packers will be the only team in that division now that does not have a domed stadium.
And it feels like that won't change for them.
No, I don't think that would ever change. I love it.
Did you see the stuff with the Kansas City fans getting like amputations?
Yes.
From that game?
From the frostbite game?
No way.
Yes. They said 70% of the people that went in for frostbite are now planning amputations.
No way. That sucks. What? Because it was so freaking cold there.
It's not worth it, guys.
No, and they moved the other game. Remember that?
I do. Imagine being that into anything. Like, I'm going to go to the game today. Might lose a toe or finger, but it's worth it.
Did you once say I would lose an appendage for the Kings to win the championship?
Yeah, but that's the finals.
Oh.
It's not,
the Super Bowl. It was the path to the Super Bowl.
If they went to the Super Bowl and lost a toe, that's fine. But
fine.
But I would lose that finger whether I volunteered that finger whether I was in attendance or not. I would just give the finger up for the championship.
Oh, gotcha. So you could have done that at home.
Yeah, I could have just done that at home.
Injury.
But by the way, and as we go to break, I want to be clear about that, just in case that ever comes up. When I say that, though, that
you just want it to be gone, not to be.
Yeah,
injured.
like
you don't want to go through the injury.
I'm not talking about like putting my finger in a little finger guillotine and having it chopped off. Like I'm talking about like if I had the choice,
you just wake up and it's gone.
Yeah, like I would go to the hospital and have it like done professionally, where like I go to sleep and they chop it off and stitch it up and all that. That also doesn't mean that if the Kings win a title, I'm saying I will chop a finger off. I'm saying if Basketball Jesus asked me for a finger in exchange for a title, I would do that if it was guaranteed.
You're just getting the tattoo.
What if you had to do that and no one can know that you did it?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I just want the championship. I mean, granted, it'd be kind of cool to be like, bro, I gave up my finger for the title. Like that's a Braveheart move. I mean, he gave up a lot more than a finger. That was Anyways, we'll take a break. When we come back, Three for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. I'll explain the first question when it's asked, and then we'll talk more about not just tomorrow's game against the Bucks, but also what the hell's going on with some of these starters. Three for Madness next.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron, and a simple, casual spike with the left hand.
Kings lead by 3. Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Oh, Frankie Cartoscelli, Sactown Sports Kings Insider at 9 a.m. Frankie Clicks joins us. In the meantime, it's 3 for Madness, brought to you by Fire Wings. Christopher Laud, question 1.
LOL?
Full disclosure, I wrote that question, and it's a very specific question. LOL. Because that's literally all I could think about this morning when I was writing the 3 for Madness questions, knowing I want to talk about the Kings. Just LOL. Like I don't.
I'm not laughing.
I am, but like it's like the movie where the guy's pulling out his intestines and laughing maniacally type of laugh, not the ha that's great.
Just like that.
Just like that.
I did not see that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Wow, that was a really good analogy.
As good as it gets with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. LOL, dude. I don't. I gotta keep remembering the following things because it's what keeps me calm. Number 1. In fact, we should come up with a top 5 at some point of things Kings fans can tell themselves to stay calm. Number 1, they could be under 500.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, they were and probably are a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, they've got 2 bona fide stars.
Correct.
Number 4, man, that Golden One center is awesome.
True.
And number 5, they could be in Seattle.
Okay. It's always a safety net.
That LOL, because I just every day it seems like, or every other day, even during the wins, we come in here, we're like, well, those wacky Kings.
Yeah. Well, I think I'd add another one. Would you rather this be 2006 through 2022?
No, it's better. This is better.
Yeah.
And also, I would rather them lose to all the bad and mediocre teams and beat the good teams than the other way around.
I was thinking about this too yesterday, literally driving home after the game. Like, gosh, I guess this is just going to be it. Like, this is going to be the team the rest of the year. And I said, you know what? As silly as it may be, Dave, if they won, like, let's just say, whatever, this for the next 16 games.
Yeah.
And then they won the last 3. So let's say they won the last 3, and I'm just going to give them the 6 seed. And it doesn't even matter who the 3 seed is.
Sure.
We all be going, I really like the way they're playing going in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the last 3. I'm not saying it's a 10-game win streak. It's just
looking like they're putting it together.
3. Like, I really like what they're doing here. I think they're ready to go. It may just take that to feel better about this team.
I forget who we were talking to last week. Might have been Sam. But it was like, that the Kings, the Kings are going to be the hot take du jour on every playoff preview where it's like, no one wants to play. Watch out for Sacramento. Sacramento's my dark horse. Sacramento could do some damage, and then they're going to show the graphic splash of their record against the opponents above them and blah, blah, blah. But, dude, you know what? This honestly feels like, we talked about in the individual games that don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe and how they get themselves in this deficit in the games, and then they make this comeback towards the end of the year, but they fall short. I have no reason to believe that from 50,000 feet looking at the season that it's not going to be a similar thing. They're throwing away these games that they should win, and that's going to cost them playoff seeding in the end. And then they're going to get us all excited because they're going to win 3, 4, 5 in a row or 5 or 6 or whatever going into the playoffs. And then when we're sitting here, they get bounced in the first round. It's going to be like, well, I fell for the banana in the tailpipe. They are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in beating the Bucks tomorrow?
I'd say 9. I'm so confident I'm going. Yeah, the Kings never beat the Bucks.
No, 15 in a row.
Yeah.
2016, last time they defeated them.
If I was a gambler, I'd be putting a nice big chunk of change because that's what's been working, dude. That is what has been working. The Bucks are 42 and 23. The Bucks just beat the Clippers in LA yesterday, 124-117, coming off a 2-game losing streak to the Warriors and the Lakers. And before that, they had won 6 in a row. So the Bucks have won 7 and 9. And then they finish out their road trip, last game of the road trip in Sacramento. I do like that it's the last game of the road trip. That sometimes you can get a team on a good night. They want to go home. They've been on the road for a while. But it's more about the Kings than the Bucks, and the fact that the Kings they just lost at home to not a great team, and now they're playing a good team at home. I'd feel better if this was in Milwaukee, probably, but let's keep that streak going.
Well, I would say for as much as we poke and rightfully so of the flaws that the Kings have of losing games like they did yesterday, to their credit, they bounce back pretty well.
Right.
I mean, we get frustrated by this. But I'm not as confident as you are. As a 9, no way. I'd go about a 5.
Okay.
I think the matchup's better, believe it or not. And sometimes you could just kind of crack the code, realizing this yesterday when the Kings were playing the Rockets. Rockets are number 7 defense in the league. The Kings have been held under 100 not that many times. The Rockets almost did it a 3rd straight time yesterday. Milwaukee hasn't been that good defensively, so I think it's going to be more in the pace, the tone, the tempo that the Kings like. But I like that part of it, but I'm not as confident as you are.
I got to say, hopefully the Kings it's hilarious that we're looking at Oklahoma City, Phoenix, Denver, maybe Minnesota. I think Kings fans would far rather play them in a 7-game series than Houston or New Orleans.
Yeah, they're 0-7 against those teams.
That's just...
Isn't that crazy?
That's silly pants.
It is silly pants.
Number 3, please.
Question 3.
Barnes, Herter, and Keegan were a combined 8 of 24 and 0 of 9 from behind the arc. Is this officially a thing?
Yeah, until it's not. I would like to take a moment, though, and just once again, because even though we talk about him, Domantas Sabonis had 25 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, and he was 10 of 11 from the field. Now, I'm also leaving out the 9 turnovers.
Very important.
That's not great. He had 9 of the team's 12 turnovers. But still, we just need to. I just want to make sure we continue to appreciate how good this dude is. Nobody shot well. De'Aaron Fox is 7 of 21. Malik Monk shot 50%. That's fine. When you take Fox into the equation, the Kings starters last night from beyond the arc were 2 of 18. Now, again, I'm not a coach or an expert, but that ain't going to work.
Yeah.
When the whole team was 6 of 32, that's a 18.8% from behind the arc.
And they were 2 of their last 21. So to me, there's 3 things that happen with this team. They rely on Fox and Sabonis, and a lot of times that's enough. Yesterday, Sabonis had the stat line, but the 9 turnovers, Fox was not good. They rely on the 3-point shooting. That was not good. So
Right.
there's 2 elements that weren't strong. And then the other part was kind of what this question was. Keegan, Barnes, Herter, they can win the game for him. I mean, if those 3, Monk, like the other players play well,
yeah,
they can win too. None of those 3 factors all were put together yesterday. And honestly, okay, so the last 2 games they played, the home game, they stole basically from San Antonio. And I know we hate that. Give them credit. I actually thought the Spurs played really well.
Sure.
I didn't think Houston was that good yesterday.
No,
I really didn't.
I agree with you.
They won. They deserved the game. They were better than the Kings. But that game was gettable if Sacramento had their stuff together, and they took away, again, Fox, Sabonis in some capacity, the ability to shoot the 3, and those other pieces. If any 1, 2, or in this case, all 3 were slightly off, it's tough for them to win.
And Jason, I don't know if you noticed, it was the 4th quarter. They're starting to make that comeback, and Keegan came off a screen, and he always usually just puts it up, and this time he just hesitated.
Yep.
And then put up an awful shot. It's just
Is that the air ball,
man.
I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was about 5 different times in the 4th quarter where they had a momentum defensive play. They couldn't score on the other end. They just,
right.
There was the lob from Fox to Malik, and the whole place like, this is it. And then he basically wedged it in the side of the rim. I think Chris's point, I think it might have been after a Herter block. It's like, okay, look at this. And then Keegan opened 3 and he missed. And it's like, they couldn't make the momentum basket that they needed.
I think we also, and I hate doing it, but once again, we kind of have to, I hate these words coming out of my mouth because I love him so much, but again, shouldn't matter. Kevin Huerter's kind of getting borderline unplayable. We have to at least acknowledge that if we're going to cover this team correctly. The month of March, Jason, he's averaging 5.5 points on 33% from the field, 22% from behind the arc, and 22 minutes a game, which is a significant amount.
He's averaging 22 minutes?
22 minutes
thought it was less.
average.
Okay.
25, 16, 12, 23, and 33 in the OT win over Minnesota. And teams are, we've talked about it, teams are hunting him on defense. At what point do you say, kid needs to get it together again? Brown's done it before.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go Malik Monk, go Keon Ellis. I don't know. At least with Barnes and with Murray, they're average to above average defenders. I don't know how long you can sustain a situation where, and it's not an effort thing.
Right.
We know he's in a place right now. We want him to get out of it. But, dude, 5.5 points in 22 minutes as a starter, and it's incredibly inefficient, and other teams are hunting you on defense.
Yeah.
How long are we doing this for?
I know. And this is where it's really where I'm totally get it. Had they won yesterday, which obviously they didn't, it would have been a season best 11 games above 500. So it's there's elements of this that are there, but it's so frustrating because then they end up playing the way they did, and here they are now disappointing back to 9 games above 500.
We will take a break. When we come back, the Kings fall to the Rockets. We've got a little bit of sound. We'll talk about that game and more. Also, we got a text to win contest that we're going to give away. Kings Grizzlies tickets for you in this next segment. Don't forget, Jiffy Lube Drive the Game coming up a little bit later on in the hour too. So we are bribing you to listen to us, and we don't care. It's Dave, Jason, and Chris on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It is Monday, heading into a new work week. Looking at a soggy start to the day with a few scattered showers expected. For the afternoon, we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies with highs today reaching the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
When it's chilly cold at night, don't just add another blanket. Add a new furnace system instead. Now for as low as $5,999 with 0% interest and no payments for 18 months. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey.
Working at home, I realized this is behind the scenes stuff, but you have these adapters for the end of your headphones that turn a tiny plug into a big plug, which is what plugs into my thing over here.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but my board at home, tiny plug. Okay. So I have to take off the adapter.
Yeah.
I have 3 adapters sitting on my desk at home right now.
And they're not here.
So I'm going to have to, Alan and I are going to have to share a, I forget what we did last time.
I forgot. We'll make it work.
By the way, I just saw the video footage of the complete baby race on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Your thoughts.
I mean, instinctively, I want to drag Alan for a little bit of cheating because he was kind of, pushing a little bit. But I would say that the athlete, in this case, the baby, just didn't really show up. And I don't, you can't blame a baby. It's a baby.
Shameful performance.
It kind of was. Little embarrassing for the station.
Well, were the other opponents under 500?
I mean, in this case, Jason, I think baby Ella's biggest opponent was her training. I think in the end, that's what happened. It was coaching. And I think Chris nailed it earlier. He decided to go to spring training over the weekend instead of staying back and practicing.
Right.
And if he was going to do that, then the first time she saw him should have been at the game with him on the other side, coaxing her along.
Right.
Because in this case, she was just like, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. And the De'Aaron Fox of babies just destroyed the
You saw that other baby?
Oh my goodness.
Crazy. Like just rope-a-dope to everybody. Like, I'm not going to play. Oh, I'll show you how.
I'll show you how. You're going to try?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah, this is trying.
Right. And then Usain Baby.
Yes.
Just absolutely annihilates everyone. Speaking of, Kings fall to the Rockets yesterday.
Speaking of.
I know, right? This happened to me a little bit yesterday. Now, I can't guarantee I'll feel this way later on. And at some point, I can guarantee I'll be back. But, I have a note here. At what point do you just throw your hands up? Like, I kind of got there over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I felt this way before also when this team would lose a lot, where it's almost like, okay, this is just who they are at this point, and I'm done being angry about it. Like I said to you, I watched almost none of the game yesterday.
Yeah.
I absolutely was confident what was going to happen. It did not surprise me, not just the losing, but the fact that they built a lead, then got in a giant hole, then clawed their way back only to come up short at the end. It's rinse and repeat for this team.
Yeah.
Why, what good is us being emotionally invested in that going to do? It's just who they are. I don't like this team. I've said that for me. I like the individual players. I think it's the second most likable team we've ever had other than the 0-2 teams. Like, those are the ones that'll always be on the Mount Rushmore. This, to me, is the second most likable group of individuals. Harrison Barnes is amazing. Domantas Sabonis is the sweetest guy in the world. De'Aaron Fox rides for the city. By the way, did you see his taco shoes the other night? That's so amazing.
Yeah.
Kevin Huerter, obviously, we love him to death. And who am I forgetting here? Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
How do you not like any of that? There's not a single unlikable person on this team. I love the individual players. I hate this team.
So I'm trying to think if they could be in the same spot record-wise. So 6, 7, 8, kind of battling for those spots. Roughly, what are they, 9 games above 500, same season. But if the losses were more predictable, would it be better for you? Because it doesn't feel like it's a record thing.
No, it's not a record thing.
It's the
expectations and what they.
But again, let's go back to that part then. What are the expectations?
The expectations
is round 2?
The expectation for me is for them to beat the teams that they should beat. Okay. And on one hand, the counter to that is, but Dave, look at their record against the Minnesotas, the OKs. Yeah. Doesn't that even it out? And I say, no, it doesn't even it out, because it shows me even more that they should be beating these other teams. Now, listen, styles make fights. I'm not immune to the fact that every team, whether it's Sacramento or Denver or Boston, every team has those matchup. In fact, Sacramento is that for Denver. Every team has 1 or 2 matchup teams in the league. They're just like, oh, we do not match up well with these guys. It's like Sacramento has 11 of those. And the fact that they're able to consistently go on the road and beat the Lakers, go on the road and beat the Clippers, go on the road and beat Minnesota, and every other win we've talked about, but then follow that up with a Charlotte, a Portland, a Detroit, an almost San Antonio, a Chicago, a Houston 3 times, that pisses me off even more, because when I don't get angry at losing. I get angry at the way you lose. Mm-hmm. And if I feel like either there's things here, Jason, that are like the unforgivables, like not hustling, not caring, which I believe they do both of those very well. They care. But when you're not living up, when I feel like as a fan, you're not living up to your potential for whatever reason, that's where the frustration comes in, because I think they're better than this.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of their most recent losses here. Would be maybe the Denver road loss be the one where, like, okay. I mean, no one was happy that
I
they
wasn't
just
mad
got
at that one
annihilated.
bit. Yeah.
But it was like, all right, that's a really good team. They're defending champs in their building. You knew they were hungry, and you just kind of move on.
Not one iota. Of course, I want to see them lose, but it's like, dude, you beat them the first 2. You were due for this one. All good.
Okay.
I was 3,000,000,000% more upset at the Bulls loss.
Yeah.
And then on and on and on. Those are the ones I don't understand, because it's the same stinking thing, by the way. But what better thing to do than to see it in person? So it's a great lead into it.
Here you go. Enjoy the misery.
Just trashing their home effort against crappy teams. And now let's do a text to win against Memphis. March 18th.
Feel the pain.
All you have to do is text today's keyword for your qualifying entry to score our coveted pair of Kings tickets. Now, just to make sure I'm doing this right, I say the keyword now, right?
Yes.
And then they text it?
Yes.
And then that enters them to win.
Correct.
And then we're going to pick from that?
Yes.
And then they're going to get informed by a promotions person?
Correct.
Okay, I got it. So.
Not on YouTube, on the text line.
On the text line, which is 916-339-1140. Today's keyword is ball. 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 916-339-1140. As in, you'll have a ball going to see the Kings take on Memphis at home. And Jason, last I checked, Memphis ain't doing that great.
No, they're not.
So you got the Kings at home against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 22-43. That's a guaranteed win you're going to see.
What's that code word?
Ball.
I'm freaking jacked.
Anyways. Wow, a lot of look at all these balls.
What?
Wait. On the text line.
Oh.
A lot of balls.
Yeah.
There's a full page of balls on the text line. Good for you guys. Hey, by the way, just FYI, everybody, if you do ball in all caps, it's not going to – the promotions people aren't looking at the text line for big balls. They're looking for ball, just the word.
I thought they were excited.
Apparently, you're excited. Anyways, all right. So the Kings fall to the Rockets. As I said earlier, though, Jason, everything I feel like we talk about with this team for the rest of the season has an asterisk on it, because and the asterisk explainer at the bottom of the page is pending what they do in the postseason. Hey, look, man, if they fart their way through the rest of this year doing, having stupid losses, and then they roll into the postseason and they end up, nice first round upset, great second round, 6-7 games here, whatever. And we're sitting here at the end, we're like, well, that regular season sure was weird, but boy, they sure brought it in the postseason. I'm proud of this team. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That. Yeah.
I reserve the right to grade this team after the playoffs. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but you have to allow for the fact that we have seen this team have the ability, if I'm being honest, Jason, is it absolutely based on how this team has played this year. If I were to make this statement to you, based on the way this team has played this year, isn't it less far-fetched on March 11th than it was on October 15th? Isn't it less far-fetched for me to say the Sacramento Kings team could be a Western Conference Finals team?
Less now than it was before?
I'm saying, maybe I'm asking it stupidly, probably. I feel like with everything that's gone on this season, good and bad, I actually think they have a better chance to make the Western Conference Finals than what I thought in October.
Why?
Because of what they've shown they can do to the teams above them. The fact that Oklahoma City, they match up well with. Minnesota lost Gobert. They've shown that they can beat both the Lakers and the Clippers on the road. They've shown that they can beat Phoenix on the road. Should have beat them twice on the road. Golden State's way down there. Looking at the preseason, it was like, second round, whatever. Now, I don't think they're going to make the Western Conference Finals. What I'm saying is the way this team has shown they can play with all this crap we've been talking about, I actually think it's more likely that they're a Western Conference Finals team. And hell, they're 2-1 against Denver.
3-1.
3-1, excuse me.
Yeah.
Right? 3-1. All you need is the season to end, like you said, have some momentum, have this team catch fire. There's 21 different ways they could make the Western Conference Finals. Maybe less. Either way, I'll be celebrating with my good friends over at Fire Wings. Hey, you know what? Nothing. Somebody's mad that Dave, why'd you call me out about my big ball? Sorry, all caps guy. I was just saying. I had a ball. Nothing beats sports and wings. And our good friends at Fire Wings want to remind you that with the NBA here, with all the college basketball fun we're about to have, it's a really, really good time to get your wing on. And Fire Wings has you covered. 21 different flavors to choose from. They are live. They are local. And those wings soaked in buttermilk all night long, baby. Nice, tender, and juicy. As I said earlier, 21 different flavors you're going to find. Guys, ball is spelled B-A-L-L. If you text B-O-L-L, you're not winning. If you can't spell ball, I don't trust you to drive to the game. So make sure you check your spelling. Go to firewings.com, find the location nearest you. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire Wings, just wing it. When we come back, we got the Jiffy Lube drive of the game, 1-800-920-1140. You can get a $100 gift certificate to our good friends at Jiffy Lube to springerize your car. Not Jerry, spring's coming up. And let's talk about some of these Kings trends before we get to Frankie at 9 a.m. and everything in between. We got a lot of post-game reactions from yesterday as well. It's Dave, it's Jason, it's Chris. We're right back after this.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies, first aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Ever since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Ha! Found ya.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto-pay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
Hey guys, do you know your T-level?
Revive Men's Health here in Sacramento is helping you take that first step toward better health and enhanced intimacy with a free testosterone level test, exam, and consultation. Plus, for this month only, qualified patients can kickstart their treatment with a free supply of ED medication. Revive's customized ED treatments can provide immediate results, restore blood flow naturally, and even bring spontaneity back into your love life. With both in-person and telemedicine appointments available, plus free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Having an optimal testosterone level can change your whole life, and it starts with knowing your T level. Take that first step and book your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation, and kickstart your treatment with a free supply of ED medication this month only. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566, or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
1-800-920-1140. We'll take your calls now. Jiffy Lube driving the game yesterday. All you got to do is tell us what it was. We'll play it. If you're right, you win a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube. They've got you covered.
Yeah.
Before we get to this, Jason, I've been kind of bugged by this thought here recently. It has nothing to do with sports. So remember, like, how in class back in the day, like math, they wouldn't let you use a calculator. They're like, you have to learn how to do it. And then it's like, but why? I have a calculator. Like, what's the problem? So now we're getting to the point where, like, teachers are kind of freaking out because kids are doing reports with, like, a GPT and, like, AI and all that.
Okay.
And I was watching this video of this dude that, like, can now, like, Google with his brain patterns, and, like, it gives him the answers through, like, vibrations in his ears. Like, the guy at MIT is building this thing, right? And it goes back to the thing I've been saying forever, which is, like, we are, like Dan Brown wrote about in one of his books, we are evolving as a species faster than we've ever evolved before. And in the next 100 years, we're basically going to be part cybernetic. Like, you know, we don't realize it, but pacemakers, hearing aids, like, we're already starting to go there.
Yeah.
But as we have the technology existing where eventually, like the Apple Vision Pro, the big giant thing, that's going to be contact lenses. You're going to have a little thing that you can put in your ear. Eventually, I believe people will, you'll be able to say to me, Dave, who was the president in 1864? And I'm going to be able to, with whatever is in and on my body, people are going to be connected to be able to come up with instantaneous information. The question is this:
Abraham Lincoln,
right? Would it matter? Like, when we get to that point, do you really need to learn everything? Or are we just going to know that pretty much every single human being that has those implants are going to
know everything,
access to you're going to know everything?
Incredibly scary.
But do you, like, I'm not blue skying. That's coming.
Well, then, like, in my brain, it's just like, oh, well, then we can let you know that things that you don't need to know about.
Like, you mean plant misinformation?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You're going to have to figure that part out. But I'm saying you're going to be sitting there and like, oh, I need to know what 8,643 divided by 77 is. And you're going to instantaneously know it. You're going to think about it right now. We have access. Remember, you used to have to wake up, get the newspaper, look through it, like, oh, here's the box score. Here's what happened in New York, whatever. We now have instantaneous access with these things. We're almost there. We can play any song.
Yeah.
Remember the big, giant zip-up cases of CDs? Remember having to pull your car over and change out your CD changer?
Yeah.
Okay. You now have every song pretty much ever created in your pocket. You have access to almost every video ever shown in your pocket. You need two things. You need a receiver and you need access to the internet. The phone is going to be that's going to be a part of you very, very soon. Like that is almost here where it is literally a part of your everyday wear. Earpiece, contacts. Pretty soon, Elon Musk is working with Neuralink. I know I'm getting a little,
fun.
Let's all smoke a bunch of stuff and talk about this, but the thing I've been thinking about is, will people have the need to be intelligent anymore? And yet at the same time, simultaneously be the most intelligent they've ever been. 1-800-921. There you go, everybody. I'm back.
Deep thoughts.
Hi, Jay. Deep thoughts with Dave Handy.
Hey, good morning. So those are the deep thought conversations I like to have when I shut the game off once they start blowing leads. But
right.
You have that a lot.
Hopefully we don't keep that. But anyway, I think I got the drive of the game, although I've failed every time.
Come on, Jay. We are pulling for you so hard, my man. What is the Jiffy Lube drive of the game?
In the second quarter, Sabonis got the assist to Fox for a layup to bring the score to a 9-point lead, but then they might score another time and then just lose.
Well, I will tell you, I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong yet. I will tell you, though, you do have the right quarter. It was in the second quarter. Let's see what happened.
Fox accelerates to the left, draws a double team immediately, skips it out to Herter, gives to Sabonis, looks for the backdoor cutter. It's Fox twisting reverse. That's magic. That is absolute magic on the part of Sabonis and Fox on the give and go for the hoop. That's going to be your Jiffy Lube drive of the game. You're listening to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross tomorrow morning at 7:45. Your chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area.
That's correct.
Wow.
Jay, you've done it.
Man,
hey,
I listen to the games on the radio exclusively. I love
Good for you.
Good for you.
That's the right way to do it.
We're going to clip that and we're going to send that to Gary Gerald.
Yes.
Just so he knows. Congratulations. You got yourself a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube to do whatever you wish with your vehicle out there. All you got to do, Jay, is tell me what radio station makes all your Gary Gerald dreams come true.
Sactown Sports, 1140, Salad Rocks.
Hooah!
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You can be honest with me?
Uh-huh.
Did you look to see if I hung up?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for that.
Do you know what the last line was?
Salad Rocks?
Uh-huh.
Salad Saturday. Okay. Every once in a while, Chris comes up with a sounder, and I legitimately don't remember saying it. And this is one of those times.
You said that.
I said that? What did anyone remember the context of me Oprah Winfreying Salad Saturday?
Yes, I do.
Is it bad?
No. We were talking about it. It was Friday, wasn't it, Chris?
No, he's on the phone now.
Yeah, it was Friday.
It was Friday, and I forget what you were referencing, but we were talking about, you're like, maybe like a dream. You're like, nobody ever says like Salad Rocks. No, someone on the text line said Salad Rocks, and you repeated that. And then
it was something about when you get excited about coming home and my wife's like it's a salad night.
Yeah.
Now I kind of remember.
Yeah. Salad Saturday.
I made a potato salad yesterday. Okay. That salad rocks.
Okay. I need details because that's one of the most varied thing that people make. People ask who makes the potato salad.
Well, let's see. Let me tell you, Jason. The rest of the segment was supposed to be about Kings trends and going over yesterday's game.
Well, we have more to get to on that.
I will happily fill out the last minute of the segment with potato salad talk because why not? For starters, I use Yukon Gold potatoes, the little yellow ones. All right. And I quarter them and I half peel them. I don't fully peel them. I half peel them because I think a little bit of skin is good. While I'm boiling them, I take the big bowl because I make a lot because it's good leftovers, right? Mayonnaise, little bit of Dijon mustard, cap full of vinegar, and a spoonful of sour cream. And then I chop up a ton of dill, some celery salt, and my secret ingredient, honestly, you know how people put paprika on the top? I put a little bit of pappy seasoning on top. Very finely diced red onion, very finely diced celery, very finely diced black olive, and about 4 finely diced or chopped, I should say, hard-boiled eggs. Then this is very important, people don't do this. when the potatoes are done and fork tender, you strain them, and then you must put them in the bowl when they're warm and mix them very lightly with the dressing, because the pores of the potatoes are open and the dressing will sink in and keep them flavorful all the way through the potato. And then mix everything together, throw in the rest of the ingredients. And then sometimes I'll put some bacon bits in, sometimes I won't. I didn't yesterday, and it turned out really well. Now, I can tell, having worked with you for a very long time, you're not a fan of every ingredient in there.
Correct.
If I were to guess the ingredient,
where are the raisins?
I would. If I were to guess the ingredient you're not a fan of as we go to break, would I be correct that the one you're not a fan of came when I was mixing the liquids together, the mayonnaise and the dressing?
Correct.
It's one of two. I'm going to say the mustard. You're not a fan of the mustard. It's either mustard or vinegar, I feel.
Probably both,
Yeah.
but I mean, you have so much there's a lot going on in that.
There is a lot going on.
And it's just, I think potato salad can be so extremely basic. And I think a lot of times there could
You're
be
right.
a lot, but I think it's the most varied. When someone says potato salad, I'll automatically, I love potato salad.
Yeah.
And I see it, I go, that's.
You're 100%
there's
right.
a lot going on there.
There's,
like Chris said, raisins. Some people do it. I'm like,
yeah, I can't do that. But you know what I should do? I should bring some in.
Yes.
I should bring some. That I could do.
Okay.
I could bring in some
slicer.
Yeah, I could bring in some potato salad. That's easy. We'll take a break.
Potato salad off.
When we come back, the squad can't get it out of gear, man.
Can't do it.
Let's talk about
do it.
the trends, what they've been up to, and what is the fix, if anything. We'll do that next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
If you're like most people, you've had your fair share of financial questions. Questions like, can I afford my son's travel hockey team? What if my daughter doesn't get that soccer scholarship? Will I be able to enjoy golf in retirement? At Empower, we know these questions can be stressful. We're here to help answer your what ifs and empower what's next. Join 18 million Americans and take control of your financial future. Start today at empower.com. Sponsored by Empower Personal Wealth.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Monday, heading into a new work week. Looking at a soggy start to the day with a few scattered showers expected. For the afternoon, we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies with highs today reaching the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia during their spring event and save big on your favorite models. You can even buy with zero down on approval of credit. Shop your trusted Kia dealership for over 25 years and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Boot Barn is committed to supporting those who uphold the Western way of life. Denim plays a major role as a robust material that holds strong in a rugged environment. Since 1947, the Wrangler Authentic Western jeans have brought long-lasting denim to all who embrace the cowboy lifestyle. Boot Barn is proud to support this bold legacy one that's just as iconic now as it was then. Wrangler at Boot Barn.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit jiffylube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right, we're going to move on to the Kings here. I just want to clean up from the last segment. And you can join us in the YouTube chat. It's always fun there. Mr. Negative Nancy Nudnik Dingleberry, Chris Guerrero.
Got him.
Can't use Yukon Gold potatoes. They're too small. Well, that's why they're too soft, he says. You can. And the texture, I think, is fantastic. Red potatoes are good, too. You just got to boil them. That's all. You just got to time out your boiling. You don't parboil them quite, but you know, I get it. If you overboil them, they're going to be too soft. They'll be gluteny, and that's why you don't mix it too much. Then you have mashed potato salad. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants mashed potato salad.
Nope.
Nobody wants mashed potato salad, Jason Ross.
That's right.
And we are in studio, all of us together for, it seems like it's been, a while. Good to be here.
It's been a while.
Good to be with you. Saw the big boss downstairs during the break?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was rocking out on the way in.
Really?
He was.
Five-finger death punch?
I hope he doesn't get mad at me because it's his business, but he's rolling in, and I hear, and I'm like, what is that song? And, it's in the car, windows are up, but it's loud, and it's, and I'm listening, and I go, and as I wind on down the road, he's Stairway to Heavening, baby.
Wow.
He's Led Zeppelin on the way in.
So is he air drumming on the steering wheel?
I only wish he was, and I looked. He was just business as usual, but blasting a little Stairway to Heaven. If you haven't heard Stairway to Heaven, pretty good song.
Yeah.
By a band called Led Zeppelin. If I seem like I'm all over the place, I am, guys, because I'm really trying to be calm and rational about the Sacramento Kings team. It is what it is, Jason Ross. They just can't seem to put it in the gear that they have.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a gifted vocalist that for some reason has completely forgotten how to use their falsetto. They go there and their voice cracks like Peter and the Brady Bunch. And at some point you think they're going to pull out that Steven Tyler Sweet Emotion note, and they just haven't done it yet.
No, and like we said earlier, they've got a 6-game win streak, a 4-game win streak. The rest of the year, they're basically 500. If we go back 2 months from today, they have played 26 games. They've won 13. They've lost 13. So they're just kind of doing this. Yesterday was the third time, Dave, they had a chance to get to that elusive 11 games over 500. The other 2 times, they were 29-19. They lost that game at Cleveland. They were 33-23. They lost the home game to Miami. And then yesterday, 10 games above 500, lose a home game to Houston. So they just... again, can we get one more 3 or 4 game win streak? That's it. Nothing absurd. I'm not looking to win 10 in a row. I just feel like they need another little charge here before the end of the year.
What we need, to your point, is we need the schedule. In a perfect world, they'd have a nice homestand with some very beatable teams come in.
When does that ever? Oh, it's happening now.
It's happening. Oh, maybe an entire month of playing mostly 500 or below teams where they could just get right because they went through that gauntlet over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're here. Yet over the last 2 months, they're 13-13. And as you said, they're afraid of 11.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, look, we're obviously incredibly close to this team. This is who we follow, this is who we care about. We know all the ins and outs. Are they different, though, let's say, than New Orleans, than Phoenix, than the teams below them that are fighting for this? Dallas, the Lakers, the Warriors, even some above. Like, how different are they than, or in the East, Philly? Well, Philly's had the injury, but Indiana. Is this just kind of what teams at that record do?
Well, you mentioned Phoenix first.
Yeah, so
I'm just pulling Phoenix out.
They're the one they leapfrog with back and forth. They were in 6th before yesterday. They lose. Phoenix goes back into 6th.
Phoenix lost 2 games in a row at home to San Antonio back on Halloween and November 2nd. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll just go through their losses. Lakers, the 2 in San Antonio, or at home. At Philly. Home Lakers. Home Thunder. At Toronto, bad loss. So now we're up to 3. We'll count that with San Antonio. Denver, Lakers, Kings.
Now keep in mind too, we don't have to go through. We don't know if people are out.
Sure,
for the other teams.
And to be honest, I would gather a lot of these people were out.
Yeah.
Brooklyn home, that's a rough loss. New York at home, whatever.
So I'm at 4 right now, right?
You're at 4. Yep. At Sacramento, home Dallas. I wouldn't count either of those. Home Clippers. Home Memphis.
Okay.
At Clippers. At Indy, at Orlando. I agree with you. At Atlanta.
Okay. They're below 500.
Yeah. At Golden State, at Dallas, at Houston, home Thunder, home Boston.
I gave him 8.
8. I mean, I could argue 6, but even if we say 6 to 8, best to worst case based on opinion and whatever. Every team has these stinker clunkers.
Stinker clunkers.
That's what they are.
Was yesterday a stinker clunker? Yeah.
It was, but here's the thing. As you did the research here, I'll use your stat. The Sacramento Kings are 36-27 against teams not named the Rockets or Pelicans. They're 0-7 against the Rockets and Pelicans. I can look at a Rockets loss. I can look at a Pelicans loss or losses and go, okay, again, every team has stylistic matchup issues.
Yeah.
But as we kind of talked at length last week, Jason, it's not about, we're not trying to be prisoner of the moment. It's the problem is that if the Kings are committing loss crimes, they're on like their 4th offense or more, because it's not about Houston. No, it's about Charlotte. It's about Detroit. It's about the blown leads in Phoenix and Milwaukee and everything in between. All these terrible losses that the Bulls. It's all these other losses that shouldn't have happened. Now, take those away. Okay, you're going to have, we don't match up well with the Pelicans and Rockets. I don't like it. I can live with it. But it's also that they go out and it's like they come out and they show, even going back to like the Pelicans game for Vegas, for the play-in tournament or the in-season tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They were beating the hell out of the Pelicans at home. And then the Pelicans adjusted, came back, and just destroyed them. When you look at last night's game, they had a double-digit lead.
Yep.
How many times have we seen that? Then they blew it against the Bulls, double-digit lead, and blew it. How many times can we look at losses this year and say, at some point the Kings had a double-digit lead, A, and blew it, or B, They were down double digits, gave up some ridiculous 55-27 run, and then just absolutely came back in the fourth quarter and made it a single-digit loss. It's the rinse and repeat, I think, with this squad that's incredibly frustrating and tough for fans to put their hands around.
Yeah, and so like the overall question of the segment is why can't they get this going? I think part of it is going back to too many players on the roster aren't playing their best basketball.
That's right.
I mean, I think Fox and Sabonis still have, but big picture, they've had good years. Malik Monk's had a good year. And I think Keegan is closer to having a good year. But there's moments, right? So now if you're looking at significant minute players, Keegan, Barnes, and Herter, it's not there every night.
It's not there every night.
And so, right now you're now counting on guys like Keon Ellis and Davion all of a sudden, and they're doing their part.
Sure.
But they also had their stretches where they were asked to be bigger contributors and they let them down.
That's right.
So that, I think, is kind of the issue, why it can't consistently get going. You're not going to get every of your top 8, everybody play great every night. But if a guy in the top 8 doesn't play well tonight, you want tomorrow to be better. And I think sometimes it's, hey, maybe it's a week or two of a player in the top 8 that's not playing well, and that's part of the problem.
We can go back to what we've said all along. I continue to see parallels, very strong parallels, whether it's the coach and the style of coach, whether it's the point guard, the center. This team is very, very much being built in the image of the Denver Nuggets. And until they get their Aaron Gordon, this is going to happen.
Right.
Until they get there, they need that.
It's not here now.
You got to have that third option. Hopefully it's Keegan, who's your Michael Porter Jr., but you got to have that Aaron Gordon in there as well. And hopefully they can accomplish that in the offseason. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's hear from the principals themselves. We'll start with Coach Mike Brown, his post-game audio on the home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit jiffylube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
Fidium Fiber Internet is fast becoming a hometown favorite. With a dedicated connection and speeds up to 2 gigs, Fidium is winning over fans every day. Plans start at just $25 a month, so everyone can experience the best internet in the game. Visit FidiumFiber.com.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Well, I mean, what's fun at time?
You have to get about 5 minutes in to get to this part.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It makes you earn it.
It does. That's a great way to put it. It does make you earn it. Mike Brown's going to talk here in a second. Hey, I just want to say something. I feel like some people say stuff like this because it's like they want to be seen and they want to, what do I say? Make deposits in the bank account of awareness. You'll understand what I'm saying. I'm basically trying to say a politically correct thing. That it's a politically correct thing sometimes in sports media. I got to say this, man. I've been very vocal, and I have honestly, I think some people have misunderstood my intent over the years when I've said that I'm generally not a women's basketball guy through no reason other than the style. I just can't get into it. It's almost like NASCAR. Like I have all the respect in the world. It's never like, oh, because they're girls, or no, it's not that. It's just like, I'd rather watch the NBA. I just rather watch an above the rim style of game, and it's faster. I know the teams. I'm into it. It's just never been my cup of tea. God, that's changing, man. It really is. I was watching Iowa, Nebraska yesterday.
That was a great comeback.
It's probably the best basketball game I've seen maybe since Kings Clippers last year. I mean, that's saying a lot. Like, and of course, there's like NCAA tournament games, but I'm just talking about it was two heavyweight boxers just going at it, knocking each other down. I love the crowd. I mean, I told you last week with the whole Columbia Brown game we were at with the men, which was sparsely filled, and then they said like their next 9 women's games or 5 women's games were sold out. The crowd was insane. They were talking about how, what was it? Nebraska had set that record a while back for, 92,000 people in attendance for a women's basketball game before. Then you had South Carolina, LSU, and that whole fracas, and the dude, her brother, there was a fracas, and one of the players' brother came on the court for some stupid reason. And, I don't want to get in the way of the fact that was an insane game. And it's like, this is, maybe I'm wrong, and what I don't want to do is like start to be aware and get into something and then sound like I'm an expert, because I'm certainly not. And maybe there's other people that have watched women's college basketball for years that would disagree, but I feel like we're like in this golden era right now of women's basketball, both WNBA and college.
Absolutely. The level is so elevated.
It's awesome.
And I said this, I think maybe it might have been the week you were out. Like, the face of college basketball is Caitlin Clark.
100%.
Men's and women. I mean, like,
right.
She is the show.
Yes.
And her final home game ticket price, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Stars came out to watch her.
Yeah.
She was obviously a big part of that comeback yesterday against Nebraska.
Yeah.
And we're going to fill out a men's bracket pool, obviously coming up, but like, name college basketball's best men's players. But right away, people can name Caitlin Clark.
100%. Caitlin Clark is the most well-known name, I think, in college basketball.
Yes,
because
easily,
whoever the hell is going to win we were talking about this the other day. The college basketball men's player of the year he's going to win it for the second year in a row. I swear to God, I can't remember his
Zach
name.
Edey, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, I mean, no disrespect, Zach, but
he'll get in the NBA. But yeah.
And I'm sitting here and I'm going, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the whole crop of ladies going up to the WNBA that are already meeting the ladies in the end. Sabrina Ionescu and why am I tripping on who competed with Steph in the 3-point contest? Why am I forgetting?
Sabrina.
Oh, it was Sabrina. Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. So, like, and it's not like, oh, it's great basketball for girls.
Yeah.
No, it's like, dude,
it's just great basketball.
And I was really trying to do, this is a whole different topic, but I was really trying to do a deep mental dive. And again, I'm pleading ignorance. And so often it comes, I hate it when like guy that just gets into something comes in with like hot takes. And it's like, bro, you haven't been around long enough to really understand everything. So I say this humbly and with my hat in my hand, but it's like I'm watching these games and I'm like, it's no longer about like, well, they play really fundamentally and look at the layup and all that. It's like, okay, it's going to be a below the rim game for the most part. So what is it that's so exciting right now beyond like they're just incredibly skilled, like golden age? And I asked myself the question, I don't know if this is even accurate or not, but I wonder, like, in a weird backwards way, is the influence of Steph Curry in part responsible for some of the surgence of the women's game? And what I mean by that is that Steph changed the game all the way around and made being an absolute marksman like, I think people want to see Steph Curry nail long threes more than they want to see Fred Smith with a two-handed reverse dunk. And I wonder if that's now trained the basketball fan like me to look, instead of looking back in the day of above the rim, to start to look more of the today's above the rim is behind the arc.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that translates beautifully over to the women's game, because the skill level of these shooters is insane. And I'm not sitting there going, well, their 3-point line's a foot clock. Who cares? It's a badass shot. You're watching, it wasn't just Caitlin Clark and her teammates in Nebraska. Like, they're hitting these insane shots.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark's 7 feet behind that 3-point line.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and step back, side steps, just launching over people.
And it's to the point where, you go, it's like how, like when women started doing play-by-play in basketball, right? For example, all right, for the longest time, it was like, well, she's pretty good. She's a pretty good women's announcer. And then slowly through evolution, you're just like, oh, Beth Bowens is on the call. Oh, Doris Burke is there. It's not like, oh, the women on the call. Now it's just like, are they good? Awesome, great. Are they talented women broadcasters?
Right.
There's talented broadcasters.
Right.
And it's the same thing. I'm watching the women's game now, and it's like, I'm not even thinking about like, wow, these are great women's basketball. I mean, I do, and they are, but it's like, dude, these are ballers.
Yeah.
And late to the party? Sure. Want to come to the party? Here's my 6-pack of beer. I'm going to throw in the pile. Awesome. But I'm all for the more entertaining, the better.
Yep.
The more entertaining stuff, the better to watch. And I'm super, super proud of the women's game. And I'm also super happy for so many people that have been diehard fans of the women's game for so long. Like, you're finally getting yours. You held out. You were there in the beginning. You watched Pearl Jam at the tiny little venue outside of Seattle, and now they're selling out stadiums.
Yeah.
Like, that type of feeling. I'm super happy for everybody who's been a longtime fan.
They've just elevated the play, right?
Yes.
It's better all the way through. Now, the competition and the games inside, when maybe it wasn't as good, still could have been fun.
Yes.
But now you've elevated the play, and you've got more competition all the way around at every level. It's better for the sport.
It's awesome. It really is, and I can't wait. The future is just insanely bright. So good for them. All right. We'll do all our sorry. I knew at some point I had to talk about that game I saw over the weekend. I said it was a bad sports weekend. Yesterday got saved because of that. We'll take a break. Mike Brown when we get back. We also have Fox and Sabonis. So a lot of Kings post game for you before we get to who's hot, who's not at 8:44. Frankie Cartoscelli at 9 a.m. Jason's checking off segments. It's Dave, Jason, and Chris. We're right back on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by California Army National Guard, Major Wood Home Furnishings, and RVs of Sacramento.
It's Carmichael Dave with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from in the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings. Just wing it.
Taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy the height of hospitality, whether you're craving an upscale steakhouse, authentic Chinese hot pot and dim sum, or having a refreshing beverage while watching the game. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers, the No Surprise guys. We love that old song, Respect. You know, RESPECT. It's a good song and a good business philosophy. At Bell Brothers, everything we do is designed to show respect for our customers. We show up on time out of respect. Our technicians are clean-cut, friendly, and wear identification badges out of respect. We do good deeds for free for our customers and leave their homes cleaner than we found them. That's right, out of respect. So, if you want plumbing and AC service from a company that will show you some RESPECT, call Bell Brothers. We promise to respect your time, your home, and you. Call Bell Brothers right now to schedule an $87 precision tune-up. Or call if you have plumbing problems. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers. I just can't control my feet.
Coming to the venue at Thunder Valley, March 30th. World One presents The Jacksons with Sister Sledge. Tickets available now at the Thunder Valley box office, Ticketmaster.com, and World1Presents.com. Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Remember how I told you behind the scenes, and sorry I can't share the whole thing. Remember I told you before the show that I had done something that I absolutely deserved to get yelled at for?
Yeah.
Just got the email. Got yelled at.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you already did it? I didn't think you had done it.
No, they know I'm going to do it. Oh. And I forgot to do something. I've forgotten to do it for a long time. Some paperwork stuff. I'm finally doing it.
Yeah.
And it's throwing a lot of things out of whack for some good people. So
okay.
I don't know. What's the proper thing to do? Well, other than being responsible and doing your job, what's the proper thing to do when you fall behind on something and it
not do it again?
Yeah, no, of course. But like crumble cookies, flowers, a card. I feel like a card's lame. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm saying in addition to all.
Oh, you spent money for paper?
Just wear it.
Is there a bigger scam in the world than cards that are like $5 to $7? And does anyone save? I mean, like, I understand there's some cards you might save, but
I've saved a few.
But you generally, like, I save your Christmas cards.
Oh,
but your Christmas card, I do. We have a whole box of Christmas cards, like you, Chris Clark, and a few others, you know, family stuff like that we have all in there. So like with yours, we can see Jackson growing up throughout the years, all the funny photos you take and all that. But like, I'm talking about like Mother's Day or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'll spend the $7.99 for the, you know, are you going to go with the deep one?
Mm-hmm.
Mother, you made my life sing, you know, are you going to be like, are you going to do the funny one with like the dogs barking and like, oh, look at me, I'm the kid, mom, you know, like
so funny.
Here's $8.
Yeah.
So that they can read it once and go, thanks. And then go right to the present. Because that's all anyone cares about. The present.
Yeah.
I wish the Sacramento Kings would give us a present. a victory over a team they're favored to beat.
That would be nice.
Didn't happen last night, and Mike Brown talked about the defense.
Great threes, and we had some great threes tonight. But, again, this is why defense is important. If you turn the ball over the 9 times we did in the second half for 11 points, and you're not making your threes, we were 6 for 32 at 18%, which is not good, obviously. But when you do those two things, it's going to be hard to win a ball game unless you're defending at extremely high level.
Mm-hmm. Well, that seems to be a recurring theme.
Mm-hmm.
And so what does he do sometimes to adjust? He throws in a zone.
And I thought our guys did a pretty good job. The pick and roll hurt us in the third quarter. Their pick and roll hurt us in the third quarter, and that's why we went to zone to get them out of the pick and roll. And I thought our guys did a pretty good job in the zone, because what it did is made them do something else besides take shots in the pick and roll game. So I thought our zone was effective, and it helped us get back in the game. But, at the end of the day, for us, if we're not spraying that ball, we can't have 10 sprays in a game against a team like the Rockets, because you're playing right into their hands, and in terms of not getting quality shots from the 3-point line and possibly turning it over. So in that third quarter, their pick and roll game and their ability to convert points off our turnover really, really, really hurt us.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're supposed to react to these comments, not just.
Well, and the thing is, the other part I feel like I've been saying, like a broken record on pregame and postgames, is okay. These games that they've had happen, that continue to happen, to me, they were supposed to be lessons.
Yes,
that's the part. Like, okay, like I can even rationalize whatever. Pick the game, Charlotte, Detroit, whatever game that really frustrates you. You go, in 82 games, something like that will happen. Okay, I get that. I understand that. I accept that. But you have that so that you don't have it again.
Right.
Or you don't have it again and again and again and again. That's the problem. It's like, all right, maybe I'll even give you 2 of these mistakes or 3 of them, but it's now we're working at a high volume of them, and you just feel like there's more to be had out there, and you want the other teams to beat you. I'm not saying the Kings are giving these games away, but it's closer to that than feeling like I said earlier, I didn't think the Rockets were that tremendous yesterday. They were better than the Kings. They deserve to win, but that's gets all back into the frustration where it feels like these things are avoidable,
preventable, avoidable. Yeah. They're better than this,
right? Feels like it.
It does, and I think you really hopped on to an excellent point. That look, things are going to happen. You're gonna have losses. You're going to have bad losses.
Yeah, like where's the game? Like if the Rockets came in here and shot 65% as a team, hit 24, a franchise record 24 threes, tip your hat. Like, hey,
tip your hat. It
Kings
happens.
have those. Like they would have beat every team in the league. That wasn't yesterday. That wasn't a lot of these. That wasn't the Bulls comeback. That wasn't some of these other losses they've had. And the fact that they can't get out of that, or again back to the run that the Rockets went from the swing from being ahead up 13 to being down as far as they were. If the Rockets caught them and led by 2 to 4 points, okay, they caught them, settle in and go win this game. But they're down 17, and now you're in drastic measures to try to come back.
Here's more of Mike Brown post game.
The entire Phoenix Suns team, a lot of credit. The reality of it is they went small, and we couldn't score. We couldn't score inside. Katie did a heck of a job, or we took some bad shots. I thought we drove into traffic 2 or 3 times. And instead of playing the way we normally play, you drive the ball, you touch the paint. If help comes, play off a 2 and spray it. We try to go for the foul and shoot over 2 or 3 guys at the rim. And then we took some tough threes, and they forced us into tough threes. We had no pace in the half court to end the game. We were holding the ball a lot. And so their ability to play KD at the 5 and still match up with us because we couldn't score really slowed us down. And we have to figure that out because that's happened to us in the past. So great learning lesson for us all.
Okay. And that wasn't a miscue. that was Mike Brown. And when you were talking about the lessons, Jason, it made me think, oh my God, I remember this. This was back on January 16th. So just under 2 months ago, I remembered the whole learning lesson. As a matter of fact, this is where this is the tweet I put out where I said, what are we learning? And this is where Mike Brown's son actually got on me for it.
Yeah.
And made good points. You're learning how to build a contender. So the stuff he was pointing out there that obviously happened after the Phoenix game, some of that was not what happened yesterday. So the argument there is, well, maybe they did learn some of those lessons.
Okay.
But it seems, to your point, like they're in this constant state of learning, which maybe that's the case in the NBA. Other teams get paid well. They have scouts. They have film. They look for your weaknesses. And this is a brutal league, dude. If you show any sort of a weakness, they will find it and they will exploit it.
100%.
But why does it seem that the worse the team, the more likely that's what I just don't buy. It's one thing if they find a weakness and exploit it. It's one thing if it's the NBA and on any given night. It's just that we're a broken record.
Yeah.
Consistently, the average to below average teams are the ones that are beating this team, and the ones that are above 500 with the fantastic players on it, those are the ones we rise up to play. So I refuse to believe that this isn't double negative an internal Kings problem, not an external other teams are better problem.
Yeah, and maybe it's again, I think the elements of success for this team are Fox and Sabonis playing great. That happens more times than not. Hitting 3-pointers, that happens a decent amount. Last night was not there. There's still a workaround, though, to win those games. And maybe it's defense that Mike Brown talks about, but it's those other players. So maybe does Keegan, does Herter, does Barnes, do those guys get up for the better teams? Because maybe that's when they're more well-rounded games from everyone else. I don't know. I'm trying to find a common thread here for these good wins and these bad losses.
I'll give you one common thread as we go to break. Domantas Sabonis is good.
Every game.
Just a stat for you. Yeah. Since January 1st, Domantas Sabonis leads the league in rebounds, leads the league in assists, leads the league in double-doubles, leads the league in triple-doubles. Since January 1st, he is averaging 21, 15, and 9 on 63% shooting. That is Nikola Jokic numbers, and in some cases, with the exception of the scoring, it's actually all around probably better than some of Jokic's MVP peaks at times, and he's been doing it now for about 2.5 months. It's really, really good. Empty calories, though. Yeah. We'll take a break. We still have reaction from Fox and Sabonis to get to, but coming up next, who is hot, who's not? We got to recap 3 in the key for the Kings and Rockets before we get to Frankie at 9 a.m. It's Dave, it's Jason at Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
They're going to give it. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll left, throw for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. He has the hat trick tonight, a career high. 3 touchdown catches for George. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. A bottle of Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment can clean your system and help your engine get more MPGs. Right now, you can get 2 bottles for only $9.99. A great deal to help you go a great deal farther. Find Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment and everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any one of our 6,300 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Guys, this month only, Revive Men's Health Sacramento offers qualified patients a free supply of ED medication to kickstart their treatment and enhance intimacy. Book your free T-check, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Ever since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Ha! Found ya.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
All right, Chris, do you have the answer to that big question of who is hot?
You would like to know that, wouldn't you?
I do, and I would like to know. Do you have it?
Domantas Sabonis.
Okay.
He was 10 of 11 yesterday for 25 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists. He also extended his double-double streak to 46 games to tie Jerry Lucas for the longest single-season double-double streak in franchise history.
That's pretty good.
Sabonis, way to go.
He's good.
Yeah, he is.
You know what? He's so good. They should do like a thing where they make like a special team for like the best players and then have them play like all the best players like in the other conference and have like an exhibition game.
Oh, like in the middle of the season, roughly?
Roughly.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime in February.
Yeah. Would he get invited though?
I guess there's no room for a guy damn near averaging a triple-double as a center who is very much like the guy who's won 3 of the last 4 MVPs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's not?
The Sacramento Kings in the third quarter. They shot 4 of 16 from the field. They were 0 of 6 from the three-point line and were outscored 32-14 to the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, you know, they are who they are, man. This is who we have. This is who I hear profound statement. This is who they are until they are not. And though I firmly believe that they could come out, let's say against the Bucks, maybe the Lakers, they could come out in their very next game and just run away from someone, and you're like, wow, they really put it all together in that game, and then just take off. But I can guarantee to you right now, the way we're programmed as Kings fans right now, they could beat the Bucks. Then they could turn around and beat the Lakers by 40. The Lakers just had a really good win yesterday. Yesterday. And we're going to be sitting here and going, those are some really, really good. And then the Knicks come in and they just throttle the Knicks. Let's say they beat the Bucks, the Lakers, and the Knicks by a combined 67 points over 3 games. Throttle them all 3. I can promise you all we're going to be talking about Monday morning and all Kings fans are going to be thinking about Monday morning, at least 60 to 70% of them is, Here comes the letdown with the Grizzlies. And it's up to the team to get us out of that. Now, if you told me that we were going to win 3 out of our next 4 and the one we're going to lose to is Memphis, I'll take it.
Right. Exactly.
From 50,000 feet,
Yeah.
I will take it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if we go back to like lessons learned, let's say they beat Memphis and they lose the other 3, I'm not into that.
From the 916, we can't beat teams that have length and are physical. I disagree with that. Oklahoma City has length and is physical. Minnesota has length and is physical. I have not found, the secret sauce on the matchups. Now, with New Orleans and physicality is an issue. New Orleans and Houston are both incredibly physical teams. But the Kings have beaten physical teams this year. It's not just your finesse teams. I do think they're better against finesse teams than physical teams. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just being stubborn, but I have a hard time believing that in a 7-game playoff series they'd lose to the Rockets. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. They're 0-3.
Right.
Now the Pelicans. But the problem is with losing to the Pelicans. And being what, 0-4?
0-4 with 1 more to go.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like that's less about the Kings losing to the Pelicans and more about I just have a hard time understanding why the Pelicans are only, 14 games over. Like, that's a really, really good team.
Yeah.
If you fast forwarded 3 months and said the Pelicans are going to be in the NBA Finals, I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked.
Right. Nobody's talking about them.
Nobody's talking about them. And they're just kind of rolling along. Guess what? They're 2.5 behind the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
They're just slowly but surely. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 7 of their last 10. They are a team that when they are healthy and on have very, very few weaknesses.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to 3 in the key. Kings Rockets with Frankie Cartoscelli coming up in just a couple of minutes. But let's see how we did last night, Jason Ross.
All right, we're on the heels of that great Malik Monk game, so we wanted to know Malik Monk's points and assists. And so, Dave, you predicted 23 points, 8 assists. I predicted 17 points, 7 assists. Chris Verlot predicted 21 points and 5 assists. Malik had 20 and 5, so Chris was one off.
Wow.
Basically had it. Then we asked the dreaded lead swing. What would be the largest Kings lead versus the largest Kings deficit? What was that difference? Dave, you said it would be 24 points. I said 32. Chris said 28. Kings led by 13, trailed by 17. That's a 30-point swing. We're all pretty close. Chris and I split the difference there.
Yeah, I'm a loser.
But here we go. On the random stat, Dave, you said that Mike Brown would win a challenge.
I have no idea.
He did.
Did he? That's right. Of course he did.
I actually put 2 down. I said Sabonis and Sengun would both have triple doubles.
Hey, hold on. Is that 3 in a row for Brown now? Did he win 2?
No, and then I think you predicted that he wouldn't win one, which you were right.
Oh,
he just kind of, it was the one where Fox fouled out.
That's right.
He knew he wasn't going to win, but he's like, hey, it doesn't matter now. Let's
40 seconds left or whatever.
If I get this right.
All right, triple doubles.
So I said Sabonis and Sengun would each have triple doubles. Neither one did. And then I put a bonus one. The Kings would be in 6th when we're back on Monday. They were actually in 6th going into the game, but they lost to fall back to 7th. And Chris, his prediction of his random stat was that Baby Styles would win the baby race.
Boy, was he
shameful performance.
Ella,
A. More like FF for failed to win the baby race.
Yeah, pass fail is a fail.
And let's be clear about this. We're not.
It was an L.
It was. And look, we're not monsters. Okay. We don't blame the baby one bit.
Absolutely not.
It is the training. It is it's the training. It's the focus or lack thereof. She's a baby.
Yeah.
Discipline reflects leadership.
That's exactly right. And
the strategy we talked about. Alan had not been around.
No.
His daughter for a while.
I know.
Could have been at the finish line instead of the starting point.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Did they even train?
I don't know. Allegedly they did.
I'm so terrible at this. Hold on. Shut up. I just want to draft dial a 9.
I thought you had someone there for a minute.
It was a lady.
No, it's not a 9.
Oh, I don't have to dial
No. Put a 1 in there.
Okay, so 9, 1,
Smooth.
6, 7. Just kidding. You guys thought I was doing it. Okay, there we go. Pot it up, would you? Because I want to kind of get to the bottom of this thing. And let's see, unscreened phone call. If I want to. Bottom line. Hello.
Hi.
You're on the air.
Okay.
Okay. So many different titles for him. We'll just.
Keegan
Murray. There you go.
Okay, good.
That's all
Is
you
that
need.
what we're talking about again?
Scott Moak, how are you? No. I know this isn't, well, every corner is your corner of the store, Scott, but here's what I want to lay out for you real quick, because we had a couple of minutes in this segment.
Okay.
So our esteemed midday host, Alan Stiles, went to spring training over the weekend, came back just in time for he and his partner to debut their beautiful baby girl, Ella, for the baby races.
Nice.
Well, the performance wasn't.
Well.
Yeah, it was really not great.
Okay.
We don't blame the baby. We blame the training and the fact that Alan basically went to spring training and abandoned, the whole process.
Wife and daughter.
And it really reflects poorly, let's just be honest, not just on them as a family or parents, but also on the station.
Yeah.
So my question is this: is there any mechanism available to your knowledge where maybe we can get a rematch or get another shot down the road before the season ends if there are any more baby races and see if they can do better? Or is it a one and done?
That's a good call. No, it's I think there might be a chance. Letting someone come back though, that's unprecedented. I mean, that's way above my pay grade. That's a Scott Freshour type of conversation. But Jackie Wong, that's a First Five California sponsored race, and Jackie does love the baby races. So I bet you there might be some hope there.
Baby races, which by the way will be debuting next year in Huddersfield, England, who had no idea baby races even existed till I showed them the video. Maybe if we sent a letter to both Scott and Jackie and pleaded the case, maybe we could.
I like it.
We could get.
I mean, I would make Styles do a video message like with an apology. Like,
yes,
I feel like it's really a letdown for the entire. I mean, really, every person in attendance.
But how do we know
we're
going to get a better performance?
We don't. But
that's a good point, J. Ross.
But you only have one shot, one opportunity. We need
two in this case.
Yeah, and Alan's
you have two. Yeah,
he's coming up from the Bay Area. He's trying to establish himself as a Sacramento guy. That wasn't a Sacramento performance. Yeah. Well, I mean, the way the team's been lately, but
that was not.
I know. Okay, so all right, you gave us. I got to go through one of Scott's handlers. Obviously, you can't contact him directly. Because he is so high.
Fresh Hour?
Yeah.
Well, we can.
I don't know. You got to go through a lot of people to get Scott Freshour.
Well, I mean, we could try to call him, I guess.
Yeah. Well, if we had more time.
Can I add a call? Can we try to add a call?
Could we? I barely can call out to begin with.
It was a struggle.
Oh, you could. What is that?
I think he's adding a call.
Is this hold music?
He has hold music on his cell phone?
Hang up or press 1 for more options.
We're gonna leave him. Scott Fresh, this is Mo. I got Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross on the line here. They got a big situation going on. They're gonna leave you here. Go ahead, guys. Tell them what's up.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Here with Jason. We're on the air, Scott. Other Scott, better looking Scott, and we have a problem because our midday host, Alan, his daughter was in the baby races over the weekend, but he went out of town to spring training and completely dropped the ball on training her. And Jason, the result's not great.
No, so we need a redo, right?
We're hoping for an unprecedented redo where maybe they could take the training a little more seriously, and we can save the station from being as embarrassed as it was. Yeah. So, if you wouldn't mind,
we all recognize it's a big ask. So, let's just lay it down what it is. It's a big freaking ask.
Scott, I'm not opposed to bribery. I believe I have a $25 gift card to Makuni in my backpack that's there for a while. Also, maybe some Republic tickets, just saying. But whatever you need, I think we can all work it out. But we want to make this happen. You have our cell numbers, so let us know if you would. Thanks, and love you. And bye-bye.
All right, there we go.
Thank you. Dude, you have hold music on your phone?
I don't know. Was that
when you switched over? It sounded like a Covered California commercial.
It did.
Wow. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Maybe I pay extra for that service. I don't know.
Hey, did the jersey fit?
Oh, he wore it today to school.
I love it. Okay.
So good.
Thank you. Love you. Have a great TV show today.
All right. Love you guys too. Thanks.
Bye. All right. We'll take a break.
Making things happen.
You know what? That's what we do. We're connected. California. When we come back, we'll talk to Frankie, Sactown Sports Kings Insider. We'll do all that in your home of the Kings next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
At LL Flooring, we've been a trusted partner to pros for over 30 years. With over 400 nationwide warehouses full of in-stock, job-ready inventory, you'll get what you need. And our exclusive pro pricing means that pros never pay retail. Because at LL Flooring, all we do is floors. So we're going to do it right. Sign up for a free pro account today to start getting pro benefits.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Look to own or lease during the spring sales event. Drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call. At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested and will greet you with a smile. They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later. They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys. So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my friends at Fire Wings talking about Wings Day Wednesday. That's right, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. 3-flavor lineup includes 7 classic, 7 dry rub, and 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. A great place to watch and enjoy sports with friends. 21 delicious flavors to choose from. Save time. Order online for pickup or delivery. Just go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you. Order online. Earn rewards rewards, fire wings, just wing it.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Racists. Multiple people. Is that just my lisp? Races. Baby races. All right. Frankie's going to join us in moments. We'll talk about the Sacramento Kings. I gotta be honest with you, man. We'll always make it a fun conversation with Frankie. I'm on the struggle bus with this interview. I really am, because I feel like just about every question we're going to ask him is rinse and repeat here.
Yeah, and he's not that we expect him to know the answer. I think we're all in kind of that, I don't know, which isn't a fun answer.
It's not. And the problem with Frankie, well, okay, it's not. I say the problem with Frankie, this is actually one of his best qualities, but Frankie is not prone to dramatics, except for on his Twitter account. If when he was like, this is unacceptable, or whatever he said that. Like, if Frankie were dramatic like me, we could go certain places in the interview, right? Mm-hmm. But Frankie's kind of like Katie. Like, I can't ever rattle her or, get her angry. She's always going to be very, very matter of fact, which I know Frankie is, as he joins us right now. Frankie Click, Sactown Sports Kings Insider, excuse me. Frankie, we were just talking about this interview, and through no fault of your own, 100% no fault of your own, I said, look, I'm kind of on the struggle bus when it comes to talking to Frankie for the next 15, 20 minutes. Not because you're not a wonderful interview full of knowledge and all that. It's just simply, I'm running out of angles, dude. I don't know the roads to go down, because it's just simple. What are we going to do? What's wrong with this team? How can you explain them continue losing to teams under 500? Why does it seem like they bounce back? What's up with Kevin Herter? Is Keegan Murray? And it's like, it feels like we're falling into this rut, Frankie. Maybe I'm wrong, where we're just running through the same crap every week with this team.
Yeah, I think everyone, like you, me, the fan base, we're all the players in the locker room. Everyone is searching for answers. Like, I don't think that if it feels like we're doing the same thing each week, and again, I think I came on with you guys last week on the heels of another loss.
Yeah.
And they all kind of blend together at this point. But I think we're all looking for answers, and the inconsistency is the issue. I think that at this point, the identity of this Kings team it's inconsistency, which is unfortunate, because the playoffs are a month away, and the Kings really want to be there as well as the fan base. We all want to see the Kings play into the playoffs, but you look at a game like last night where the Kings look like they have it going early and completely come to a screeching halt in the second half. It really is head scratching. And the sub 500 teams, they aren't going to keep coming in. You have the Bucks and Lakers this week, so there's really no time to dwell on it. But yeah, no, I agree. There really isn't like an angle or a particular avenue that you look at this Kings team and say, this is the problem. This is the problem. Yeah, the defense continues to be, up and down. I think that they're still a little ahead of last year, but they're down to 20th in defensive rating. The offense is still one of the top 10 in the league. It's essentially the same thing we saw last year. So at this point, I guess my best advice is to hang on and not enjoy the ride, but enjoy or be tortured by whatever it is. It's going to probably continue for the next couple of weeks, because this team is what it is.
Frankie, you mentioned the players being frustrated too. I feel like we finally started to hear just a little bit of that. Nothing crazy, but I know Kevin Herter a couple games ago may have expressed some disappointment, maybe not being on the floor more, though he's not playing that well right now. What's your sense on the locker room and the players, how they're feeling about kind of what you just described, the up and down nature?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. As far as the on-court play, they're frustrated. They're frustrated that they feel like they have the talent in there to get it done. And with what happened with them last year, the success that they saw, obviously third in the Western Conference, they 2-0 lead in the first round and going 7 games with the Warriors, they felt they were in a position to make a deep run, and they still feel that way. I think that they feel they're on the cusp of breaking through, and it kind of has felt that way for a while, though. They feel like they put together these runs where they win 3 or 4 in a row, and then they follow back up with 2-3 losses. It's kind of just that, one step forward, 2 steps back approach. It's just been, they haven't really been able to get over that hump. To me, I'm looking at that 10 games over 500 mark. They've reached that mark, I think, 4 times this season now and failed to get over it. So frustrated for sure, but they're together. They're very cohesive in that locker room and very close. This group's been together for going back to last summer. They've been spending a lot of time together. So summer 2022, that is. This group goes back far. So I think that the frustration is definitely just about the on-court play, but there's no feuds. There's none of that drama we've seen with previous Kings teams. This group is close. There are a lot of close friends in that locker room. I think it's more about just finding that consistent play on the court. And again, 60 games in the season, they're still searching for it. Will they be able to figure it out over the next 19, 20 games? We'll see. I mean, the Western Conference is a buzzsaw right now, and there's really no, there's no easy night right now for the Kings, especially against those sub-500 teams like we saw against Houston, who had the Kings number this year. So, it's something like that. No drama going on behind the scenes, nothing like that. Just more so trying to figure out if this group can get it done on the floor.
Frankie joining us, Frankie Cartoscelli, Sactown Sports Kings insider. I want to throw something at you. I threw it, Jason, kind of a curveball earlier. Said, with everything that's gone on this year, if you'd asked me for what percentage chance I thought the Kings could make the Western Conference Finals in October, I actually would rate the percentage higher now than I would have preseason. Not because, obviously, of the games they've lost to the lame teams, but because they've proven time and time again that they can stand with and in most cases beat the teams above them. Do you feel the same if you go back and you put it in those parameters?
I mean, yeah, it's insane for me to say this, but I do feel more confident in the Kings playing in OKC, a Denver, a Minnesota, a Phoenix than I do about them playing, a Houston like last night, San Antonio, like a Golden State situation where the Warriors have played the Kings well, but they're beneath the Kings in the standings. It just seems like the Kings, and I think this is what we pointed to last week as well, mental. I look at the mental aspect of the game. They get up for those big games, and they show up usually. More times than not, they've shown up. I think Sam Amick had a great piece come out on I think it was Thursday or Friday last week that highlighted how the Kings have been the best out of any of those teams that are currently in the mix for a playoff spot in that 5-6 range. They have fared better against the top 4 in the West than any of those other teams. And it really is kind of a confusing, but I guess encouraging aspect of this team. They get up for these big games, and that's why I'm looking at the next 2. And the jokes, they write themselves at this point. I think if you go on social media last night, everyone has the same exact approach as far as, well, the Kings play the Bucks on Tuesday, so I mean, we'll see an end for a win. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't think it would surprise anybody if the Kings turn around and they beat the Bucks, or they pick up a big win at home against the Lakers on Wednesday. It just seems like the Kings, they rise to the occasion in those games, and especially on the road. I mean, the road home aspect of this Kings team is another confusing thing. I mean, the only 3 teams in the West that have less home wins than the Kings right now it's the Spurs, the Blazers, and Memphis, the bottom 3 teams in the West. Wow. The Kings have just struggled at home. And it goes back to last year, too. They're a better road team. That's a strength, I think, when you're in games late in the season or in playoff situations. And that could come in handy later on. But still, the Kings have a lot of home games. And I'm looking at this upcoming stretch. And, yeah, I guess it's unfortunate the Kings don't face the Nuggets again or Minnesota, because they do play well in those situations. But it still is frustrating to see them go against these sub-500 teams at home and fall short. But again, it's happened all season long, so it's not that surprising.
Our Sactown Sports Kings insider, Frankie Cartoscelli, joins us on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Frankie, so what are the common traits then? If we're talking about that, the best of the Kings, these wins, these road wins, these quality wins against some of the better teams in the NBA, conversely, these really bad losses, what do you see as the common traits in the wins versus the common traits in the losses?
I mean, I'm looking at the offense and ball movement. I think that something we were talking about up at Media Row last night was how well the ball was moving around last night. 16 assists in the first half. I mean, De'Aaron Fox had it going. Keegan Murray, who has had a rough stretch, he had 8 points in the first half, I think, and he ended up scoring 3 or 4 more in the second half. Those 16 assists, though, in the first half, they only had 8 in the second. The ball movement just stopped. Opposing defenses seem to make those in-game adjustments, and the Kings really have no answer. The three-point shooting, to me, has just been a clear indicator, and I have a 35% kind of mark. If you go to their basketball reference page of their game logs and you highlight their three-point percentage, there's a clear just drop-off where the wins and the losses are showing up. When the Kings shoot 35% or better this season, they're 28-9. When they shoot under that mark, 34% or worse, they're 8-18. Last night, they go 18%. That's their worst single-game performance in nearly 4 years. I look at the three-point shooting. When the shots are falling, and this goes back to last year as well, for, again, a roster that's pretty much the same 1 through 8 in the rotation, when the three-point shots are falling, they're super hard to beat. Like, they're very, very hard to beat. And last night, you see the Kings, they aren't having the three-point success they wanted, so they attack the paint, and Houston makes the adjustments. Ime Udoka, a guy who's been there before, he's coached games at the highest level, NBA Finals with Boston, made those in-game adjustments. They clogged the paint, and they kind of said, okay, let's see if the Kings can knock them down. They didn't. They never did. So when you take that away and the shots aren't falling, it's very hard for them to win games. And that's kind of been, to me, the biggest takeaway, the three-point shooting. If the Kings are knocking them down early and they can get out to a run, it might be a good night for them. But if they're struggling out of the gates and they fall into a hole, it's usually hard for this team to kind of work their way out of it. And that's especially harder when you have inconsistent play from guys like Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, who's had some struggles on offense this season, De'Aaron Fox, who had a rough night from 3, and I think he only scored 4 points in the second half. When he's struggling, the Kings really come to a halt. So I'll get three-point shooting more than anything. That's kind of this team's identity. They like to let it fly, and if the shots aren't falling, it could be a rough night.
Do you tend to lean towards crediting other teams' adjustments or our lack of adjustments more?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think I lean more to the inconsistent play on the Kings side. Just there's so many different things that have popped up this year that last year I feel like was more of just like a steady jog. The Kings were kind of like a steady jog to the playoffs, and they're each guy kind of had their role, and it was kind of like a rare occurrence when someone would fall short, or if Kevin Huerter had a horrible night from 3, it just would kind of raise eyebrows a little more. This year there's just been so much of that up and down play. It's been a roller coaster of a season. Like the way that they got to this 9 games over 500 in March, like it's pretty similar to where they were last year, but the way they've gotten to this point is just very different. And it feels different. So I kind of look more at the Kings and just that their players have really been more consistent this year than last year. And obviously a couple more injuries here and there have popped up. So that definitely will affect things. But I look more at the guys on the floor and the fact that they aren't able to get that continuity they were expecting. And, there's, I guess, 20 games left. There's still technically a quarter of the season to go. It certainly doesn't feel like it, but these are kind of trends that this far into the season, it's surprising to see them turn around, but crazier things have happened. Crazier things have happened where teams figure things out. They get hot going into the playoffs or the play-in. And I think Miami was a play-in team last year. They went to the finals, but, the Heat are the Heat. They always find a way, it seems. But if the Kings can find this rhythm and get their guys going at the right time, you never know what could happen.
The other part about where they are right now, Frankie, and obviously they're flip-flopping in the standings. Before the game started yesterday, they were 6th. Now they're back into 7th, and that's going to constantly change. But I feel like if the postseason did start today, that the rotation isn't really solidified, meaning that, well, certainly some of the starters aren't playing as well, but it's not always they're going to Mitchell or Monk or Lyles. Now Keon's in there. For a while, Duarte was in there. Maybe Alex Len. Do you think that needs to be tightened up, or is it just going to be kind of a case by case, and whoever they face, if they get to the playoffs, they'll kind of adjust accordingly?
Yeah, I've definitely always felt it needs to be solidified. I think that a lot of players, being comfortable is important, I think, in sports, knowing where you're going to be and where you're going to play. And I know that things don't always roll out that way, and you have to kind of take what the game gives you, but the Kings have really kind of looked for consistency in that lineup for a while, and the backup center position also has been a revolving door. It seems like Alex Len has a hole in it for now, but sometimes you see JaVale McGee in there, you see Trey Lyles, and again, it goes back up to the conversation you just talked about with Keon Ellis, who seems like he comes in and plays against more of the athletic and quicker guards, and Duarte comes in and has to match up against some of those guys that are 6'5" to 6'8". I think that the Kings really could benefit from finding some consistency from their rotation. And I think Davion Mitchell being able to be a plus, and I think he's shooting 51% from three over the past 20 games. 1.8 attempts per game. Obviously, the volume isn't high, but the shot's been there. Getting valuable minutes from him is one step forward the Kings did not have last year. And then having Keon Ellis be a guy that can be a positive for you on defense and knock down an occasional three, that's huge as well. We'll see if that continues in the next couple of weeks. But he's someone that I think has impressed the coaching staff and as well as the fan base as well with his hustle and his activeness on defense. The Kings don't have many guys and many defenders that are as active as Keon Ellis with that energy that he can bring. So they've lacked that. They've lacked that defensive versatility. They've lacked that energy off the bench. And I think that Mike Brown's been searching for that for a while. Again, this is a team that's been very similar to last year's roster. They haven't made many changes to the bench. It's mostly deep bench changes that we've seen. And I think that was one of the biggest problems with the Kings last year, too, is they weren't very deep. They were about 7 players deep last season. This year, around the same case, maybe 7, 8 players deep now that Keon Ellis has emerged. But I think it's a situation where they're getting through the season and using what they have. And to me, that's an off-season conversation as far as the Kings need to be a little deeper. They need to have more depth on that bench. And right now, Keon Ellis is impressed, and he's earned a spot.
Let me just reverse it just for devil's advocate, Frankie. And I know I'm reaching here, but is it possible they could be too comfortable? You want a team to be close. You want a team to be tight. Of course, chemistry, all that. Look at all these the great teams over the years: Lakers, Warriors, Spurs, etc. But it always felt like on those teams, like the Warriors, for example, they've been around a long time together, but they also have that disruptive locker room thunderclap in Draymond Green. The Lakers had a little bit of drama every single year, but of course it was always Shaq and Kobe. Is it possible that this team maybe is a little too comfortable, not just with each other, but also the fact that we talked about earlier, Kevin Huerter, God bless him, we love him, but has been borderline unplayable the last 4 games.
Yeah, I think complacency definitely can become an issue with teams like the Kings that are trying to, make their way to the end goal is a championship. They want to compete for a championship. And obviously, if you follow up last year with a similar run or worse, yeah, I mean, it might be time to switch things up a little bit. That's definitely, I think, on the table as far as things being exactly the same, the complacency being a thing, spinning your wheels. You don't want to do that. This group has just been, I keep saying it, but it's insane to look at. I don't know how many teams around the NBA have the exact same starting 5, and then even first 2 players at the bench they had going into last season. Like it really is. I don't know if there's 1, 2, 3 teams that have done it. Maybe less. Maybe only 1. Maybe it's the Kings. But I do think those questions you just had right there about Kevin Huerter being unplayable late in games, the fact that the Kings still cannot protect the rim, the fact that the Kings are the worst 3-point defense in the NBA. These are issues that are still pretty similar to last year's problems as well. And there's only one way to fix that, and that's turnover. And I think a lot of people would hate to see a blow up the roster situation. I don't think that that's exactly what would happen. But this is kind of this team's audition. Like, prove that you can compete and be a team that can go into the Western Conference playoffs and make some noise. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Like, we're spinning the tires again. So more off-season conversation, I guess, but definitely a question that will have to be answered in the coming weeks and, maybe beyond in the summer.
Frankie, as you look to tomorrow, Milwaukee comes in. Obviously, that was just a heartbreaking loss earlier this year when Dame got him after the Kings missed those free throws late. But Milwaukee has beaten the Kings 15 times in a row, I believe. It goes back to 2016, the last time the Kings won. How can tomorrow be different for the Kings?
Yeah, I think they've never beat the Bucks at Golden One, which is insane. Wow. Yeah, just looking at the Bucks, they're a team that's kind of interesting. Obviously, since Doc Rivers came in and took over them, they haven't had quite the look they all probably wanted. Even though they're still second in the East, they are still 8 games behind Boston for that first spot. But Milwaukee, a team that's battling injuries, and again, the Kings are very familiar with playing teams that are going through injuries. Chris Middleton, and I'm not sure if he's going to be in play for tomorrow, but he's someone that's missed some time. Giannis has been listed as questionable. Every matchup going into, I think going into every game in the last 3-4 nights has been questionable with calf soreness. So I look at the Bucks as a team that has been an on-paper nightmare matchup for them as far as the length they bring and the size. But the Kings have played well against that. They played well against the Clippers. They played well against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So again, one of those games where they're going to play a very tough defense. Can they get over the hump? Can they prove they can win these games, especially on their home floor? And that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the energy. I'm looking to see if there's a significant drop-off and energy. It's been a third quarter issue for the Kings as of late. They've really let their guard down and let opposing teams kind of either get back into games or pull ahead. In San Antonio, they let the Spurs hang around instead of putting the game away. The Rockets turned the game on its head last night. Looking at the beginning of the second half, when the game can make changes due to in-game adjustments from opposing teams, and the Kings have really struggled with that. So looking at that, looking to see what the energy is like at Golden One Center tomorrow. It's been incredible for this homestand, and I think I've put it on Twitter and a bunch of other Kings writers as well that the Kings failing to take advantage of that atmosphere really is tough to swallow and tough to see. Can they do it tomorrow? Can they do it on Wednesday? It's a big couple of games, and like you said, the West it seems like the Kings are rising and falling every day, and it really does feel like that. Even on games they don't play. They jumped to 6, I think, over the weekend without playing a game. So it's a fun, exciting, stressful, annoying time in the NBA, and especially watching the Kings. But we know what this group has and what they're capable of when they're on, and it just depends if it's that night or not. Well, if the threes fall, success usually follows. So I guess you'll know pretty early if that's going to happen.
Speaking of atmosphere at Golden One Center, you remember last week Malik Monk said that he was not a fan of the booing. It was the second time he acknowledged the booing. He said that both post-game and before he lit the beam after that comeback win. He said that it pisses him off along with the rest of the team, and I'm paraphrasing here, and that he kind of just takes it as motivation, the anger. And so, Mike, I'll ask you the same question I asked Jason last week. When appropriate, should Golden One Center fans feel more emboldened to boo, considering that it pumps the team up?
I mean, if that's the case, yeah, if it's going to turn to wins, absolutely.
For real.
I know it's been a conversation, and we talked about it with Chris and Alan and Brendan. We all talked about it, and I'm on the side of things as far as you can't really tell fans how to fan. They're the ones spending their money, their paychecks. They're going to games. They're buying merchandise. They're taking their families. They're spending their free time going to those games, and being down by 8 points to the worst team in the conference without their best player, I was not surprised to hear boos. I mean, again, going to games my whole life though, and you guys know this as well, being in the arena, there's been boos many times over the years. I mean, obviously for teams that were more deserving of them, that were 15 games under 500, that were in the middle of 8-9 game losing streaks. Sure, the Kings being where they are in the standings, it's rare to boo, but you know what? That's what happens when a fan base expects more from a team or expects greatness. I hate to come over here and put on my New York Yankee fan cap, but I was telling the guys that Derek Jeter got booed. Like the fans don't care; they want to see wins. They want to see competition. They want to see you perform at the highest level. And I think with Malik Monk's case, fans aren't booing him. They're not booing you individually. They're not singling anybody out in these situations. It's more just the fact that they expect more. And the Kings, a team again that was 9 games over at the time against the Spurs, that were trailing by 8 points in a game that they really needed to have with 5 minutes to go, that to me constitutes a boo. Like, it doesn't surprise me to hear boos. Like, we've heard them before. We'll continue to hear them. It happens in every sport, every team, and every environment. Boos happen. And then you know what happens? You forget a minute and a half later when things go a different way. And that's exactly what happened. If they want to use it as motivation, sure, that's great. But I think that it's, I'm a little surprised to hear about the pushback from it. I think it's just part of sports. I mean, again, everyone has their own take on it, and they can fan how they want to fan. But I've heard a lot of booing in my life, especially at Arco Arena or Power Balance Pavilion, whatever you want to call it. And is it fully, do they fully deserve to be booed when they, or where they are in the standings? That's a different conversation, I think. But I still believe if you expect a lot from a team and they're underperforming, that's usually what happens in sports. So I'm not surprised about it at all.
So we've got a minute left, but I'm gonna finish with you with a conversation we had that you just kind of stumbled into from last week that Jason and I had. You said, and I'm nitpicking here. I'm taking you out of a little out of context, but
sure.
You said that you've heard a lot of booing over the years, or not a lot. We've heard booing over the years, and your quote was, for teams that deserved it a lot more than this team, teams that lost 16-19, that were getting blown out by 40. Here's my question to you, though, just philosophically, because I would make this argument. Wouldn't you argue that this team actually deserved at times to be booed far more than those teams, for the simple fact that when we were watching those terrible teams in the mid-teens or whatever, we just kind of knew they sucked. Like, they just didn't have a lot of talent. They weren't good. They were going to get outclassed most of the nights. Whereas this team, and this is where I think we get to the heartbeat of the Sacramento fan, this team, on occasion, from a fan point of view, and I think why they boo, they're doing one of the unforgivables, which is they are consistently not living up to their potential. They're better than that. The fans recognize they're better than that, which they couldn't have 10 years ago with those crappy teams. Therefore, could you make the argument the booing's actually more deserved now?
No, I mean, it's a very good point. And I agree. I think when you look back at the old days at Arco and, when I was in high school going to games and the Kings were getting blown out, I think that was more pointed at ownership and at that then ownership and at, the front office at that point. This is pre-sale, obviously, but before they were sold to Vivek. And I think now it's more just like of a wake-up. Like, come on, guys. Like, we expect more. And I agree. I think this team where they are losing to all these teams that are, have a 20% winning percentage, the Detroit Pistons, the San Antonio Spurs, all these teams that they've struggled to beat or lose to. Yeah, I agree. I think when you see, if you look at the Los Angeles Lakers from a couple of years ago, or the Bucks when they won a championship, these are championship teams, obviously, the Nuggets, even the Timberwolves, Clippers. I think if you were to have any of these teams lose to if they had the same track record or resume of losses the Kings have had,
yep.
If the Minnesota Timberwolves had these things happen,
yep.
I think you would hear the same exact thing. That's why I think it's not really just a Sacramento thing. It's not a Sacramento fan base. It's a sports fan thing. You expect more from your team. Your team is good. The Kings are good. Their record portrays that. And when you lose to teams that you quote unquote should not lose to, and take the quotes away, they should not lose to these teams if they are who they are. Yes, boos are going to happen. It's happening forever. I think that's why it's like surprising to me. It's even been blown up this much. It just seems like it comes with the territory. But you don't want to piss off the players. Obviously, you don't want Malik Monk to feel frustrated. I think that fans, obviously, looking at his future free agency, they were raising eyebrows at that as well. But I wouldn't read that deep into it either. I think it's just a matter of he uses it as fuel. That's the competitor that he is. It gets him going. And you know what? If the Kings are down by 5 or 8 points with a few minutes left, maybe that's what the Kings need to do and the fan base needs to do to get Malik Monk going. So it's something that I'm not going to keep reading into as the season goes on. I think it's just a part of the game, and people can fan how they want to fan. That's just the way that it goes.
How about I turn my mic on? People can talk how they want to talk when their mic's on. That's Frankie Cartoscelli, Sacramento Kings insider. Good conversation. See, I was worried about it going in. You know what? We ended up having a good conversation.
It went great.
That's because Frankie's so damn talented. We appreciate you. We will read you online. We will read you on Twitter. We will read you at sactownsports.com. And we will talk to you in a week, hopefully not after some dumb, stupid loss.
Yeah, I'd like to come on after a win, please, once. Yes. That'd be really great. But thank you guys as always.
All right. Have a great week, buddy. That is Frankie Cartoscelli. We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch, Jason? We'll be a little TV guide for everybody. We'll go around the NBA. We'll also update you on some of today's stories that broke either just before or during the program. And then crosstalk. And what a crosstalk it's going to be with Chris Watkins and failed baby trainer Alan Stiles. We'll do all that coming up right after this.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Monday, heading into a new work week. Looking at a soggy start to the day with a few scattered showers expected. For the afternoon, we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies with highs today reaching the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints of the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hey guys, do you know your T-level? Revive Men's Health here in Sacramento is helping you take that first step toward better health and enhanced intimacy with a free testosterone level test, exam, and consultation. Plus, for this month only, qualified patients can kickstart their treatment with a free supply of ED medication. Revive's customized ED treatments can provide immediate results, restore blood flow naturally, and even bring spontaneity back into your love life. With both in-person and telemedicine appointments available, plus free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Having an optimal testosterone level can change your whole life, and it starts with knowing your T level. Take that first step and book your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation, and kickstart your treatment with a free supply of ED medication this month only. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566, or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Get ready for your chance to win a $475 gift card by entering Sactown Sports Bracket Challenge on Monday, March 18th. Sponsored by Xfinity. At home or on the go, you'll get the fastest internet to all your devices.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
You up with the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
I have this recurring nightmare. Well, I have two main recurring nightmares. Number one,
you wake up with a bat in your face.
You know, it's been 4 days. Hoping all is well. The bat. Well, dude, the weird thing is like this. Let me ask you guys this because I've thought about it. We haven't seen the bat since that day, right? For those of you who don't know, we had a bat in our house.
Appeared to be a big bat, too.
Yeah, dude. If today I went home and like, I don't know, some random whatever, like moved a curtain or did something, all of a sudden, like saw that the bat was like up there. And the thought process is, oh my God, we haven't seen the bat in like 4 days, but it's been in the house the whole time. Like we have to go get rabies shots, right? At that point, for real, like I was talking to Melissa about that yesterday. I'm like, if the bat's been in there for 4 days and we haven't known, dude, that bat could be landing on us at night.
I could be getting bat flapped.
We could be getting bat flapped in our sleep.
Yes.
And I just can't get over reading about how like rabies is basically 100% fatal if you start showing symptoms and you don't have the vaccine. Like, I don't want to screw with anything that's 50% fatal. 99% fatal. Anyways, my recurring nightmares are this. Number one, that I'm caving, spelunking, and like I'm trapped and like water keeps filling up and I've got like a rock above me and below me, and like I'm in this tight space. Like I think a lot of people have
and
that.
Just a small amount of air.
Yeah, a small amount of air, and like no way. Like I am stuck in between these rocks
in a hard place,
and I can't move.
Yeah.
Right. And then the other one is that, and I don't know, I think I saw this on a TV show or something, but it's like my family's all being held hostage and I have an earpiece. And the whole point is that these people are making me go up to people who don't know I have this earpiece and saying like the most worst things I could say. Like, not even like things that would make someone angry. It's all about like, they can see where I'm walking, and it's all about like, I have to go up to people that are like my friends or coworkers and just say the most terrible, hurtful things in the world. And then like, they just keep cueing me on things to say. And if I let them know that I'm being forced, not good. Right. Like that is like the worst torture.
Classic prank.
Right. Like, but not funny.
Sounds like a Nate prank.
It does.
So I thought about it during the break because for some reason, maybe I had that nightmare recently because it came into my head. And I just want you guys to know, if I ever come up to you and say anything out of the blue that is like so off the wall, horrible.
Check for the earpiece.
Like you can't, because they'll know.
Oh.
No, you got to like call my wife and be like, hey, are you guys okay?
Yeah.
Dave's acting strange. But
now the kidnappers have heard this.
Actually,
that's a good point.
Now that you've said that, I kind of want to revisit our call on Friday.
When you called and I was laughing about the weirdness of my wife just getting me.
Are you okay?
That continues today. I am I think I will be, and I'm happy to do this, but today, my wife and her job parted ways on Friday after a very long time, and I believe I'm being tasked with going to clear out the office, which is fine. Like I feel like if I got, excuse me,
you leave something special behind.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Hamburgers and hot dogs last night. If I should say, when I get fired from here, it'll happen. That's how it goes. I can't, I was thinking about that. Would I want my wife to come get what do
you have here? That whole corner over there?
This whole corner is I come in, I just grab. No, it's my jar of ibuprofen. I'm taking all my Nutri-Grain bars that have been left here, and this bobblehead, and this set of headphones.
Shoe.
Yeah, and you can keep the waffle cookies.
Hey, you've been crushing those.
I have been crushing those. So Joe Giroux, our computer guy, so sweet. He brought in, what's his title, right? He's like in charge of computers.
Sure.
Isn't he? He's like our tech.
Joe Giroux, our company computer guy.
That's exactly. He's got a jingle.
Yeah.
So he brought in these cookies. It's super sweet of him.
Yeah.
They're basically crunch. Am I describing
waffles?
Thin, crunchy waffles.
I can't remember what they're. I think it's like a European thing.
It's one of these Danish things that like you find in the blue tin, but
you get them like on flights and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're really
yeah.
nice.
And so my thing is this: for what they are, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Props to whoever cooked them, right? But that is not a cookie to me.
You want like chips or icing or something different.
What takes that to a cook? Because right now, what that is, that's a sweet cracker.
Mm.
Wasn't that your nickname for a while?
I knew you. What would make those better? Here's what I do: frosting on top of the waffle, and then put another waffle on top of it.
Yeah.
And now it's a cookie.
Yeah.
That's what what's the point of the little squares if they're not going to hold something, right?
Hey, They're there to be holding
They're
something.
there to be. They're flavor vehicles.
Yes.
Much like me.
Yeah.
With little pockets to fill with things.
Yeah. Fill them.
I will during the break when we come back. All right. You've been waiting for it. So have we. Crosstalk, a very special crosstalk with Styles and Watkins as we break down, amongst other things, celebrity birthdays and much more, the baby race controversy from yesterday. It wasn't just the Rockets beating the Kings that brought embarrassment to the city. We'll get to all that next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by California Army National Guard, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and RVs of Sacramento.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
All right. Hey, first off, let me just say, before we get into this, hey, good to see you guys.
Good. Great to see you.
Great to see you guys.
Good to be here.
Mr. President.
Hey,
yes.
I'm running.
Seal of approval.
How was your weekend?
Pretty non-eventful.
Number one thing on the list of weekend, if you were to rank them?
It's a good question. There were some good fights this weekend. The Anthony Joshua fight, I think that was Friday. It was a good knockout.
Yeah, it was a good knockout.
It was a good knockout.
I hate the whole boxing.
Yeah.
It's just
Saturday was fun, though. Saturday was a pretty good UFC card.
Yeah, actually, that turned out to be decent. Yeah. That was a golf, Alan.
Great.
Yeah. So you've been kind of one of the stars of the show today. Now, we're of course talking about the baby races on. Let's just get it out of the way. We're talking about the baby races on Sunday.
That's right.
First off, disclaimers we've been saying all day. What a beautiful baby. No baby blame here.
No.
Baby's great.
Yeah.
Okay. We're wondering about the training.
Yes.
Chris brought up a great point. Because I had said, maybe when there's a huge competition on the line, maybe you don't spend the weekend at spring training, maybe train.
Mm-hmm.
Chris brought up a great point that honestly, you should have not seen your daughter until the baby races, and maybe she would have crawled towards you.
Thought about that.
Let's just ask it straight up, because
Yeah.
we've been talking way too much about the Kings and their failures.
Mm-hmm.
What, in your opinion, went wrong?
What went wrong? Well, we were caught in between timing because she is starting to stand for like 5 seconds at a time, and you hold her hands and she'll walk. So basically, when I approached our own Scott Marsh about this, we got the dates back, and it was this date. I think the next one is Easter. And then the next one after that is even later than that. So in a perfect world, I would have been here, right? And not in Scottsdale. But we thought that Easter would have been tough as well. And then she might have been starting to walk by then. So we just did the closest one we could do. Turns out it happened to be the same weekend. And it is what it is. There was a rehearsal, but I was on a plane back.
Yeah.
So there was a rehearsal at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So we did not do the rehearsal. Honestly, if it wasn't for my wife, we would have missed the race. We thought it was at halftime.
Yeah.
It was after the first quarter. We just happened to walk down there, and Scott, they're saying, "Oh wow, he made it," and I'm thinking, what's the problem? We have a whole nother quarter. Then the quarter ended, and they said, "All right, get on out there."
Now, I don't know if you heard or not, but we recognized that there were some issues. So we brought PA announcer Scott Moak on the air today.
Oh my God.
And he three-way called Scott Freshour, who's the MC. We have officially put in a request for a rematch for you.
A rematch.
We feel like it's not just about you.
Yeah.
It's about the station, too. Everyone got let down a little bit. We were rooting for you.
She technically got third.
You were doing a lot of pushing.
But really,
I was encouraging.
Right.
There was a second where Alan was like, I'm okay if she starts walking right now. Alan pretty much picked her up.
Right.
Like,
Saw that.
Yeah.
And third, let's be honest, is really second loser. And nobody wants that stigma.
That's right.
So here's what I'm thinking. Number one, have you considered starving the baby pre-hand and then having her favorite food?
We were supposed to have a cracker. The cracker did not make it onto the court.
Right. Okay.
Because it was all rushed. We showed up, got on out there. There was no cracker.
So, also, have you considered? Let me just put it this way: maybe we get a rematch if between now and then, because I understand you're worried about the walking.
Yeah.
If my suggestion, having had two kids, no. If at any point between now and then she starts to walk, just give her a little shove to dissuade her from walking.
Back on the ground.
To get bring back her training a little bit on that. My question is just simply this. We don't make family decisions for you here. We're just all a family.
That's right.
If it would be an unprecedented first time for a dual baby entrant. Is it something you would at least bring home to discuss?
I don't think so.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Spirits.
We don't get special treatment.
Not special treatment. Just
shameful performance.
And if she does it again, then I'm definitely never living that down.
Well, yeah, but at least you're never living this down anyways, but at least you'd have a chance for redemption.
Yeah.
Because the baby's got one shot, one opportunity. All right, well.
Maybe 2 shots.
Maybe 2 shots.
We tried.
Today is National 311 Day. It's a great band out of Omaha, Nebraska. Today is National Funeral Director and Mortician Recognition Day. I'll go with that.
Give them some flowers.
I could never. That's right. Give the morticians their flowers. I could never do that. Just be around dead people all day, having to be around like crying families. Like,
I think that'd be the worst part.
That's
of
what
families.
100%. Like, and you got to like the same. Eventually,
Can you stop crying, please?
Right. Yeah. Can you man up, please? Hello. Could be worse. Could have been me.
Acting like someone's dead.
Wow. Today is National Oatmeal Nut Waffles Day. Okay.
Specific.
And today is National Napping Day after return of daylight savings time. They're just making these up at this point, Jason.
Yeah, now they are.
Celebrity birthdays are brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Hey, Crumble Cookies. That's the one. Family and friends and so much more. Nothing, absolutely nothing brings friends and family together more than Crumble Cookies. Maybe, perhaps, if there is a rematch, maybe a Crumble Cookie is the bait. Just thinking.
You can't have cookies yet.
Why not? Okay. Jason Ross.
Happy birthday, Anthony.
Dorsett.
Keita.
Anderson. His wrist opening his present, right? Because he gets injured a lot.
You're right.
Anthony Davis is 28.
Ooh.
Got to be older than that.
Why does Nate look really hungover? Is he okay? Does he smell?
He can't hear you.
I know. Do you smell boozy?
No.
Okay.
It's like kind of how he always looks.
No, he looks a little hungover. I don't know.
No, hair looks better. Looks like you got a haircut.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like he just. All right. Anyways, 20. Whatever.
28. You said.
Yeah.
30.
29.
I hope
I'll
he's not
also
30.
say 29.
I hope he's not 30.
He is 31.
Wow.
He's not 30.
Happy birthday, Johnny.
Manziel.
Appleseed.
Bananas.
Johnny. Yeah, I'll go Manziel.
Knoxville.
Good job.
Hey.
Johnny Knoxville.
54.
52.
56.
I'm going to say 58.
No way.
Tie, 53.
53.
Happy birthday to Becky.
Hammond.
Yes. Becky Hammond.
Becky Hammond is 45.
47.
I'll say 51.
46.
We have a correct answer. Alan Stiles, 47. Happy birthday, Elton.
John Brand. Elton
Wow.
Brand is 53. I remember him playing it, dude.
Yeah. 51.
47.
48.
Chris Watkins, the closest, 45.
Wait, Elton Brand's not the one with the Lee Pressman beard, but who's the guy that went to Duke?
Boozer.
Thank you, Carlos Boozer.
Yeah,
You got to go? Any other good ones in there? No. All right. Hey, listen, Styles and Watkins are coming up next. I have a feeling Watkins is going to carry this show while Styles is just more than one loss yesterday at Golden One Center. He'll go over all those and more next right here on Sactown Sports.
Shameful performance.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the